For I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls.
Come unto me, everyone that is going through unprofitable labor. I will give you profit. Come unto me, everyone that his marriage is not working. I will give you peace. Come unto me that does not have money to start a business. I will put money in your hand. Come unto me, everyone that is suffering of one thing to the other. I will give you peace and prosperity. I can do all things through Christ that strengtheneth me. Tell their God shall be strong and do exploit. The name of the Lord is power. The righteous run to it and they are saved. No weapon fashioned against you that will prosper.
Amen.
Apostle Charles, Senior Pastor, Christ Victory Bible Church Worldwide, 255 Benin Sapele Road, Kilometer 6, Benin City. The book of Isaiah 43:19 says, I will do a new thing. Join me this Sunday at Christ Victory Bible Church, 255 Benin Sapele Road, Kilometer 6, Benin City. Are you oppressed? Are you demon possessed? Are you looking for the blessing of the womb? What are you looking for? Our God is a God of possibility. Come to Christ Victory Bible Church this Sunday, and God will be doing a new thing in your life. Remember, we have free transportation from Ring Road, from Sakoba by 3rd Junction, from Limit Junction, from Santana Market, from Ugbo Village, and from Obey Village. I will be waiting for you this Sunday. Christ Victory Bible Church, turning the poor to prosperity.
This is ITV. Certainly the best.
Greet you now, my people. This one is the Ogbonge program. You want to know now what they buy their things. You know, say, who not got money to buy something here? Now they say, follow me now. Madam, how you see us?
When I do Father burial, make Joe for everything. I make Joe now. Now then, now they collect all my utensils. For all the gifts that I should be for now. All Joe I get.
Ultimate Joe Limited. What Tangagi for number 28. Nothing when you go, go see you give like towel, umbrella, buckets, caps, and polos of kitchen accessories, textile material, fashion, winter wears, gold, NBTX, passion, Viva.
Ultimate Joe now.
Ultimate Joe like super go bless
Joe now.
Shout una from my people. So say Ultimate Joe.
You know what? You've made me so excited again.
Oh yeah.
Guys, let's do it the other way around. I'll treat you to a great meal and fun. Come on everyone to where the great place at. Welcome to GT, my world of good food and fun.
Let the action begin. GT Foods. Hygienic, super tasteful, in serene, classy, and fun to be environment. Serving continental, intercontinental, African, and rich snacks menu. GT Foods. Sexy, city, expressway. To Cellular Lagos Road, First Secular, Nagbo Road, First Ubo, GRA Benin City. Visit Tauchia, Abuja. Merry and Happy New Year to our numerous customers from GT Foods.
Eco Bus na transport to take travel from Bini, go worry, Ugeli, Abraka, Ekulobia, Onitsha, Oka and Olu. Them better drivers and Sambele buses go carry you safe and make your journey jolly.
They cheap for everyone and the journey is smooth to so it go sweet your belly, no overload at all. So anytime when you want travel, go worry, Ugeli, Abraka, Ekulobia, Onitsha. Na Eco Bus be your transport.
Eco Bus office dey for 147 Uselu Lagos Road by Uselu Market, Benin City. 42 Binyagbo Road, Yamat Park, before Guinness PLC. Go by City. Eco Bus, na the people's bus.
Watch out, you better not cry.
ITV Radio is set to delight the Christian community. This youth are in the ground. Announcing the arrival of ITV Radio Psychedelic Father Christmas, aka Father. So, writers, headmasters, and the door is open to invite TV Radio Father Christmas, aka Father Godwin, to thrill yours as his visit to schools commences 23rd November 2015. Hurry, make your bookings now at ITV Radio Corporate Commercial Glass House, Road, Benin City.
This show is supported by KC Limited Phone Shop, dealers of all kinds of phones, laptop, accessories, and MTN services. Number 60 Airport Road, close to Kenzwa Junction, Benin City.
ITV Radio Father Christmas, never a dull moment.
Okay, it's a beautiful morning here in Benin City, and of course, wherever you are there, it's also a beautiful morning. So good to know that every day of our life we wake up and to face the challenges of life, to face the great responsibilities, and also to make some achievements out there. My name is Evan Zuno-Hoge, and of course, it is our ultimate program on television this morning on ITV. This 18th day of November 2015. And of course, the big question is, what are you doing today? And how are you going to make sure that those things you could not achieve yesterday, that you achieve them all today? Well, I do know that Nigerians out there are really going through some hectic time. I experienced it yesterday when I had to buy fuel for 130 naira for a liter. I don't know. I really don't know. I was so happy because at least I got it to buy. And from all indications, somebody came from Asaba yesterday and said that he got fuel for about 200 naira a liter. And somehow I'm even told in some parts of the north that it's already 400 naira a liter. These are the questions and these are the issues that we are going to be looking at today on our program, on our discussion segment this morning on ITV. We tend to have the PRO, the Public Relations Officer of IPMA, that's Independent Petroleum Marketers Association here in Edo State. And of course, he's going to come here and also let us know what is really happening. Because sometimes when you have this kind of situations, a lot of Nigerians out there, they really don't bother because it's always a situation that comes year in, year out. You know, month in, month out. And the care is not even taking weeks in, weeks out now. And it's so sad that particularly this period of the year, when the Yuletide is very, very close, you just find that, you know, there's always fuel scarcity. So we'll be doing discussions along that line today. And it's even sad to know that when this administration came on board, a lot of people, you know, had a sigh of relief when the first few weeks was got fuel, and it was just about 87 naira a liter. And it went on for about two months now. You know, after that, it's back to, you know, the former situation. So what are the issues? What is really happening? How come that Nigeria as a nation, as one of the largest and the greatest oil producing country in the continent of Africa, cannot have this as a thing of the past, cannot put this, you know, beside? If you go to Ghana here, if you go to Benin, if you even go to Togo, it will amaze you to know that these small countries, that they are not as endowed as Nigeria, you know, they've all gone past all these little problems, you know, fuel scarcity here and there that we're experiencing today. So I don't know. I really hope that this administration, in no distant time, will really be able to do something so that Nigerians out there, you know, can really enjoy it. Nigerians are really not asking for too much. All that we ask for is just basic needs of life: good roads, pipe-borne water, good health, and of course, you know, things like fuel, so that we can carry on our daily life activities. Well, you know that today is Wednesday. It's also time for us to join Inuagata Nusakai on the motivational segment. And of course, in case if you missed out yesterday on our news in the evening, don't worry, at 7:30, 8:30, and of course 9:30 respectively, it is going to come your way. And we'll have less than about 2-3 weeks now for this month of November to just roll away. And it looks as if this month of November happens to be one of the longest months, you know, in the whole year. Well, it's just about 30 days, but 5 good weeks, you know, that the month has. Well, we'll just wait on until the month will come to an end, and of course it's going to be December. And you know, when December comes, all the razzmatazz, you know, of the season. I'm talking about the season now. Independent radio and television, we are well prepared to make sure that we give you all the enjoyment, and of course everything that you will enjoy for you, your household, your children, and of course your words out there. And we're told that very soon, Father Christmas, ITV Father Christmas, and he's named Father Godwin is going to come very soon. So it's a clarion call to children out there, most especially proprietors of private schools, proprietresses, and of course heads of schools to start making their bookings. You go to Glass House Airport Road, you make your bookings so that your children, your pupils can enjoy all the razzmatazz of the Father Christmas. And don't also forget that we're also making preparations for the 9 lessons on Carol. That is going to be sometime in December, and that's one great event that I always like to be part of. I just like everything that goes with the 9 lessons on Carol. You sing, you dance, and all that. It goes to show that God is really, really supreme. So please, I really urge you to sit back and enjoy all that we're going to give you here today on the program this morning on ITV. My name is Evan Suno Fuge, and from all of us here, we urge you to stay by and enjoy. Good morning.
Remember saying that Ember we did so not just now me the cause. The one that the cause for instance the parts make drive with this message independent radio and television.
Hooray! ITV Radio is set to delight the Christian community. This youth-fired star. Announcing the arrival of ITV Psychedelic Father Christmas, aka Father Godwin. Proprietors, headmistresses, they open to ITV Father Christmas, aka Father Godwin, to 3 students as his schools commence on 23rd November 2015. Hurry! Bookings now at ITV Radio Quarters, office, Glass Airport Road.
This show is by KYC's Limited dealers of all kinds of phones, accessories, and MTN services. Number 60 Airport Road, close to Akenswa Junction, Benin City.
ITV Radio Psychedelic Father Christmas. Never a dull moment.
Good morning and welcome to this segment of the program. Inuagata no Sahai is my name. Now, it is very important that you understand that the purpose of every team is to solve problems. The purpose of any team is to solve a problem or some problems. And that is why whenever I do trainings and seminars for organizations, to staff of businesses on the subject of effective teamwork for peak performance, I always start by saying that a team is not defined by a group of people putting on the same uniform. What makes the Federal Road Safety Commission a team is not necessarily the uniform they are wearing, but it is the goal that they want to achieve. What makes the Nigerian Army a team, the Nigeria Police a team, the Nigeria Air Force a team, it's not actually the uniform they are putting on, it is the goal that they want to achieve. It is the problem that they want to solve. Goal achievement in any team is problem solving. The purpose of a team is to solve problem. The essence of those uniforms for those institutions is for identification. But what makes them a team is the problem they want to solve. The Nigeria Police has a problem it wants to solve. The Federal Road Safety Commission has a problem it wants to solve. The same thing with the Nigerian Army. Then even sport teams like the Barcelona FC of Spain, they are not a team because of the color of their jersey. They are a team because of the goal that they want to achieve, because of the problem that they want to solve. And that is why, it is very important that for you to effectively solve the problem your team has been established to solve as a team leader, you must deliberately take responsibility to drive team culture. Now, when somebody walk into your work environment as a team leader, and then the person is finding out who is the number one team player in this organization, in this system, all hands should just point straight to the team leader. The team leader should be the number one team player in any workplace, in any group, in any organization, in any institution. The team leader should model teamwork. It is very, very important that you show an example of what you want to see. It is very important as the leader that you model what you want your people to mirror back to you. It is very important that you understand that people are more moved by your actions than your sermons. Your team members are more moved by what you do than what you preach. You must model teamwork. You must show an example of teamwork. Like I said just now, if somebody walk into your environment and is looking for the number one team player, all hands should just point straight to you, the team leader. You just have to show an example of teamwork. Why? When your team fails, the blame of that team failure will first fall on you as the team leader. Wherever you are leading a group of people, as a manager, as a supervisor, as a departmental head, if that team should experience any form of failure, the blame of that team failure is first of all placed on the team leader. If the branch of a bank, for example, is not producing, it's not meeting up with the target, the management has set before that branch, whenever they are going to start doing downsizing, restructuring, they start with the branch manager. That is how it goes. The team leader is first of all the person that takes the blame for the team failure. And that is why the team leader should do everything possible to make sure that he or she drives team culture in that work environment. He or she drives, cohesiveness, fluid collaboration in that place. And that is why when I do trainings on teamwork, training on team building, I always admonish team leaders to try as much as possible to avoid favoritism, to avoid playing favorites. If in your team, people now find out that this is the person that Oga like most, that is favoritism. That is very dangerous. If in your team, people now know that it is Johnson that Oga appreciates most, it is Jose that Madam love most, that is favoritism. That is very dangerous to the team. It's very important you understand this. Now, let me tell you one of those factors that is responsible whereby there might be this issue of favoritism by the team leader. It is whenever there is an exceptional player or exceptional players in your team. Whenever you are leading a group of people and there are those people there or an individual there that seems to be doing so well, exceptionally well, phenomenally well, there is a natural tendency as a team leader that you will have this close affinity towards that person. But now, in order not to show a bad example to the other members of the team, you have to deliberately fight this natural tendency. This is what I just said. Whenever there is a powerful producer in your team, whenever there is an exceptional performer in your team, there is the natural tendency that you will always have this attachment, this affinity towards that person. But that natural tendency, you have to take responsibility to fight it. You understand? You have to take responsibility to fight it in order not to model a dangerous example for your team members, which if they mirror back to you, it will not lead to the advancement of the team. Whenever there are exceptional performers in your team, it is natural that, oh, you will love these people. You understand? You may, at the end of the day, when you do that, you might use exceptional performance to demoralize the other team members. And I always say in my training that you don't use exceptional performance to demoralize your other team members. You use the exceptional performance to inspire them. If, for example, Josephine has done a very good job in your team meeting, you bring Josephine out, then everybody clap for Josephine and let them understand that, you know, just as Josephine has done, there is enough room, you know, enough space out there for you to equally do the same thing she has achieved, and then even go beyond what she has achieved. Not telling the people it's not the same qualification you have with her, you even have higher qualifications than her. It's not the same head that you have. Look at what she has done. You now use Josephine, the exceptional performer, to demoralize your other team members. No, you don't use exceptional performance to demoralize your team member. You use exceptional performance to inspire your team member. Whenever there is an exceptional performer in your team, there's a natural tendency you will have an attachment towards that person. Now, I remember I was training the staff of a particular private school, and then somebody asked a question that, how do you see a situation whereby, you know, you have 5 team members, and there are 2 of them that are doing so well? Don't you think you should always use these 2 to make sure that you get the job that you want to get done? And I said, that may sound beautiful, but you will achieve a greater result if the other 3 are also performing so well, in addition to that other 2 that are doing so well, which therefore implies that there is a responsibility of leadership in that scenario. And that responsibility of leadership is that leadership should take responsibility to build the capacity of the other team members that are not doing so well. You have 2 team members, they are doing so well, they are giving you some level of result, and then you just attach to these people. But do you know that if the other 3 members out of these 5 team members, where 2 are doing so well, in addition to those other 2, those ones are equally performing at par level with these other 2 or close to them, I think at the end of the day, you have an exponential result, you have a geometric result, you have a powerful result that, you know, will take the team to a very, very high altitude. So you now need to take responsibility. Those people that are not doing so well, take responsibility to up their game. Take responsibility to coach them, to develop them, and make them become equally good team members like those exceptionally performing team members. At the end of the day, you would have, to a very, very good extent, be driving team culture, you know, driving cohesiveness, and the problem the team has been established to solve, you effectively solve them. And that is why I always also recommend to team leaders, please try as much as possible to continue to promote an ongoing learning process in your team. When I do trainings on this subject, I always tell the audience that the best potential, the greatest asset that you possess is the asset of your mind. And the best way you can release the asset of your mind, or the asset of the mind, is through knowledge and information. Through knowledge and information. So the team leader should take responsibility to promote an ongoing learning process that will always bring relevant knowledge and relevant information to the team members that will help them to release their innovative and creative potential for the advancement of that team. I believe a lot of value has been added to you this morning, and I equally believe you will want to reach me. My phone number is right there on the screen for you to call. Call my MTN line 080 6686 5060. I take it again, 080 6686 5060, and the glow line is equally there, 080 529 29 again 120, 080 529 29 again 120. Let's build a better Nigeria. Let's build a better you. Let's build a better society. I'll see you next week. When I return, my name will still be Inuagata no Sahai. Your day is blessed. Thank you.
How I feel playing. How fantastic this will be. Mass equal 20. It shall be led. Family party. Papa, brothers, beginning to celebrate Baba Jesus with artistic Mando and gospel band on ground competition like a best Bible teller, merry go round, shake it, kumole, challenge, throw and win competition. Are you ready? With Ogbonge prizes to them. This inclusion for this Ogbonge na equize. That one a rice, turkey, and vegetable oil to take fry am. You don't swallow spit. Forward the man now. Get your ticket 500 small 10K for one person. Now Friday, December 20. The time 9 now I do corporate the glass house airport road for Benin City. This show by us showroom dealers for all kinds of electronics. Then 57 opposite for Benin City and Omega Tron dealers for all kinds of phones and assets. Then location for Mall of America 47 Airport Road for Benin City. Universal Institute of Technology, Federal Government National Deputy Institute, wait there for number 47 Chiloko Road before Olia Market. Chris Igbadu for people.
Okay, thank you very much. It is still our program on television this morning on ITV. And a while ago, Inuagata Nusaka talked about assets of life as something that you have in you. I'm talking about that now. I think I was talking about information. Now, the only way you can get information is when you read, and of course, you digest what you read so that it can be part of you. And that is why on this program this morning on ITV, we'll make sure that we give you the headlines as they are on the newspaper on daily basis. Well, let's start now on that, and our first port of call will be on the Sun newspaper. We've got some stories, and I have this very first one on the Sun newspaper that says Bloody Tuesday in Ebonyi State. Bloody Tuesday in Ebonyi State. I think you may have to say that now on the Sun newspaper. Bloody Tuesday in Ebonyi State. Then away from that now, let's get the other one still on the Sun newspaper. Arms deal probe committee indicts Dasuki. Arms deal probe committee indicts Dasuki. And of course, I've got this one that says that telecoms industry quietly changing Nigeria. Telecoms industry quietly changing Nigeria. Then we have this one that says that traffic hell on the Sun newspaper. And beside that, you have the picture of the Lagos State Governor Ambode. You get a copy of the Sun newspaper so that you can get the details on that story. Still on the Sun newspaper, I have this one that says that suicide bomber kills 28 in Yola. Suicide bomber kills 28 in Yola. Talking about 28 people. You know, that's another loss there. Suicide bomber kills 28 in Yola. Well, on the Sun newspaper still, I've got some other stories, and I have this one that says that reps accuse banks of promoting prostitution. Reps accuse banks of promoting prostitution. Then of course TSA Saga Lai Mohammed Fayoshe's aid in Veba war. On the Sun newspaper, TSA Saga Lai Mohammed Fayoshe's aid in Veba war. Then still moving on the Sun newspaper, ICPC recovers 80 billion naira loot. ICPC recovers 80 billion naira loot on the Sun newspaper there. Then I've got this one that says that single accounts clear the air now, and that comes from PDP. Single accounts clear the air now. Senate will probe 25 billion naira TSA fraud, and that comes in from Saraki. Senate will probe 25 billion naira TSA fraud. My election was transparent, and that comes in from the president himself. My election was transparent from the president. Then I have this one that says that Kogi in Kiri predicts victory for Audu. Of course, this weekend is going to go down in Kogi State, talking about the gubernatorial election, and we're told that Kogi in Kiri predicts victory for Audu. Well, away from the Sun newspaper, let's get to check the Vanguard for today. The Vanguard newspaper, if you're there, I'm there, the Vanguard newspaper. And of course, I've got this very first story on the Vanguard that says that CAC pastors assault Vanguard's photojournalist in Ibadan. And I think that's another inhumanity treatment to a journalist. And moving on now, I have this one that says that alleged 25 billion TSA fraud gets to roots of the matter, and CLO charges Senate. Just like what we read on the Sun newspaper earlier on. Bayelsa election peace deal. Bayelsa election peace deal on the Vanguard newspaper. And of course, wind of revolts in southeast. Why Biafra must rise again, and protesters and others of that opinion. Wind of revolts in southeast. Why Biafra must rise again. Senate ask JAMB to extend validity of results to 3 years. Senate asks JAMB to extend validity of results of 3 years. And of course, Edo PDP calls Oshomole low on 7th anniversary on the Vanguard newspaper. Edo PDP calls Oshomole low on 7th anniversary. And of course, arrest order. Dasuki replies, Buhari says, panel never invited me for interrogation. You get a copy of the Vanguard so that you can read up all that stories. Well, let's see the Punch newspaper. The Punch newspaper, if you are there, I'm there, the Punch newspaper now. And of course, I have this one that says that cause fear dead in Yola explosion. score fear dead in Yola explosion. INEC draft 3 national commissioners, 11 recs for pool. INEC drafts 3 national commissioners and 11 recs for pool. INEC recruits 13,000 workers. Is also a story there. Then of course I've got this one now on the Punch that has the picture of Dasuki. It says that Dasuki awarded 333 billion naira fake arms contract, and that is coming in from a panel. You get a copy of that so that you can read up all that details. Escape assassination attempts. Ekweremadu is saying that now. Escape assassination attempts. Ekweremadu is saying that now. And of course, I have this one that says that TSA, a recipe for electoral disaster, and that comes from the former INEC boss, Jiga. TSA, a recipe for electoral disaster. Well, quickly, so that we'll just let you see, have a feel of all the papers, the major papers for today. Okay, on the Guardian, I've got this one that says fuel price review likely in January. Fuel price review likely in January. Well, that's probably means that Nigerians may have to pay more in January. And of course, Masob counters Buhari short of UN referendum on Biafra. Still on the Guardian newspaper, and I've got this one that says that ABGA will explore new frontiers of growth. It's coming there. ABGA will explore new frontiers of growth. Of course, revive national development plans, focus on self-reliance is also a headline there, where you have the picture of the president. And of course, lastly, on the Guardian, we have PPA will tap potentials for development. Well, quickly on the Nation newspaper. Okay, I'm there now. It says the very first one I have here says that EFCC, what future after Lamode's exit? EFCC, what future after Lamode's exit? Alleged 1 trillion naira diversion. Okay, still on the Nation newspaper. Okay, well, these are some of the stories that you have for major newspapers for today, talking about the Sun, the Vanguard, the Punch, the Guardian, and of course the Nation newspaper. You get them so that you read all the nitty-gritty and all the details of the story. Well, we'll take a short pause now for our news, AM News at 7:30. Stay tuned.
Remember, saying that now we did so accident you the cost drivers the cost this from independent and television.
Traffic congestion is avoidable if we all obey traffic rules and reduce. Stop the darkness on our roads. Stop the carnage, traffic, and regulate. This message is brought to you Independent Television Radio.
Very good morning. Many thanks for joining us tonight. The AM News. I am Ugochukwu Bamidele. Commercial activities at Oba Vermi Square and environs in Benin City were disrupted for hours yesterday following a protest by thousands of Edo women over the recent insult on the Isama of Benin, Sir Chief Dr. Gabriel Osawa Wigbenagin by Governor Adams Oshomole. The women under the ages of Edo said they are also protesting against the many unfulfilled promises of Oshomole's administration in Edo State. Kingsley Uchebu has details.
Dressed in red, through above. We stopped at Mission Road and the Amotan Shrine at Oba Market Road. Custodian of the decried the insult on the Samar of Benin by Governor Oshomole. The protest attracted a crowd of sympathizers as it made way through Market Road and route above Roman to the Edo State of Assembly Complex. The protesters continued to other parts of the metropolis. Some of the protesters said their grievance was the insult on the personality of the Esama of Benin, such as Gabriel Osawaron, whom they high esteem as a first-class chief and who has contributed immensely to the uplift of Edo women. Protesters called Madam Soshomole tender a public apology to the Benin, who brought him light.
I think they of this I got the women agree. Some they do good for all women, all men, all chief. Then they come and meet Testament. Even as he want to do his birthday. Now some make us know horse has the age before 30 years. They do help for us. Scholarship, everything. They do for us. Now only Igbinedion. Some of Benin. Now only Igbinedion bring money for stadium. Where they take do help for the world. At time of Ali, now Igbinedion get money by that time, bring money to release Ali. So many things where Igbinedion do for this state. He pay me. All the thieves just quiet. They last to the insult Esama. Very painful.
Baba na nyomare do nyedo. Do yaria o mare do nyedo. O salo kweno ole ege bega kunyo gamo o ahe do nyute do na ya fefe o do nyesa e we tam wow.
Other protesters said Russians anti-people policies target at impoverished people and the absence of infrastructure among other things.
To lay our complaint to the legislator so that they will know our pains in those states, but as we speak, they refuse to come out to attend to us. So we want to use the media to tell the world that we are not getting it right in those states. Anything they hear from the governor is a come of life. All of a sudden, he has come down to bring out a land use charge. We're a state where there is no industry. A state where we cannot make money rather than taxation. We are now crying that the tax is too much on us. Even now, the water we drink, we are paying tax. In our schools, he said red roof. Where's red roof? Go to schools. You will find that there's no single chair for children to sit down. We are still where we are. We are tired of the camouflage. We are tired of the deceit. That's why we have come out to say no to him this time. And at the same time, he is insulting our one and only Esama, who touches the life of all Edolites. We want him to stop it. We don't like it, and it's not what we want in those states.
Oshomola is throwing words, bad words to our great Esama of Benin Kingdom. That man is very, very great for Benin. It's very, very very great for Benin. He don't go make governor dey insult her anyhow of what the governor is to women. Not only the women, although it affect the men, but we are protesting because of the school fees increase. 1, 2 is asking us to be paying for the house we suffer to build. When it's not paying us, meanwhile it's supposed to be paying us as an elderly people. It's not paying us. It's bringing a law that they establish, whether in America or in UK to Nigeria, forgetting that in UK they pay the elderly people. Also, hospital we are paying school fees for our children, and it's not helping us. Rather, it's increasing our sorrow. He's saying that we should pay for our house that we built when we were very young. Not to cry, even not to cry, it's insulting the only reputable man we have in Edo State, who is a Sama. And we have never seen such. Nobody is such Dangote in the north. Nobody is such Aminu Kano. That is that in the north. Why is he insulting our only man that we use to cry? We, the women, we are not cowards. So we want him to stop it. Whatever he thinks that is good for him is not good for us. We vote him in. We should remember that we vote him into power. He's not using his own power, but he should consider us that vote him. We have the right to bring him wherever he's come from.
Security officers are observed strategic location to monitor the march, which led to gridlock at Obova and environs. King Uchebu reporting.
The Inspector General of Police, Mr. Solomon Arase, has said that the police were aware of plans by some politicians in Kogi State to clothe thugs in police uniform during the governorship election scheduled for this Saturday. Mr. Arase, who made this known yesterday in Lokoja at the Stakeholders Forum, said that the intention of the perpetrators was to disrupt the election and cause mayhem. He described the action of those behind the act as wrong and wasteful investment. He disclosed that measures have been taken to properly identify 12,000 policemen that will be on duty during the election. The police boss also said that police would be supported by the military, civil defense corps, immigration, customs and Federal Road Safety Commission to provide effective security during the poll. On the safety of electoral officials, Mr. Arase said that nobody would be allowed to threaten or intimidate them. He added that the Assistant Inspector General of Police in charge of Zone 8, Mr. Lawal Tanko, and 3 commissioners of police would be deployed to coordinate police activities before, during, and after the election. The outrage generated by the insult pardon the Summer of Benin, Sir Chief Dr. Gabriel Osawa Wigminagian, is far from coming to an end as more concerned Edo citizens lend their voices to the widespread condemnation on the governor's utterances. Osawa it was more not Governor Ashomo as the response strongly criticized the governor for what they described as his unbridled disrespect to a distinguished elder statesman.
Investigation crew revealed that concerned city of Edo State to forget the poured on the of Benin, Adams
over the implementation of the land use charge law. Some concerned citizens who spoke on the issue said they viewed the matter with rude shock, describing the insult on the Esama by Governor Oshomole as an abomination. They pointed out that the decision by the governor to target the Esama with the land use law was in part and described the insult poured on the Esama by the governor as the high carelessness and redoubled misuse of executive power. The Edo citizens, Governor Shomole erred when he decided to disrespect the Esama and added that the governor, who ought to be a role model in the society, did not show good example with such respectful conduct. They advised not to purge himself such unbecoming attitude and publicly.
In Benin Kingdom, we don't disrespect our leaders or elders. It is forbidden. The Benin we say awa, we say ewego, ego. What he has done, he has just shown what everybody has been saying. If you want to know a man, give him money and power. We have seen that in him. That money he has gotten it, power he has gotten it, and he has started using the money and the power to disrespect those who brought him to power.
It is reckless and it is a conduct unbecoming of a governor. I must say this, that in proper situation, what the Governor Shomole has done amounts to a desecration of the office of the governor. It amounts to a breach of the oath of office that he has taken. What the governor has done by going personal and personalizing the office of Mr. Governor, being inconsistent with his oath of office, is an impeachable offense.
All those who derive pleasure in abusing others, they are going to be insulted one day. They will be disgraced in the public square. Children will also stone them. Want to call on people close to him to please beg him to tread with caution when you are addressing matters that affect your citizens.
The last is yet to be heard on the matter, as small citizens of Edo State to condemn the for his insult on the Esama. Musa report.
A fresh crisis seems to be brewing in the haulage industry in Edo State over the alleged emergence of another group threatening to take over the operation of the industry. Adesu Alatu reports that the tipper drivers have vowed to desist and resist any attempt by any group to usurp their activities.
Though the dust raised by the crisis that rocked the haulage industry in Edo State for more still settling down after crisis, another crisis is rearing its head. Some tipper drivers who spoke with the news crew, another group threatening to use another levy on them, a move which they said they will vehemently as they are legitimately to engage in their operations. They said as law-abiding citizens of the state, they decided to respect the law, but were quick to say that the introduction of that levy regime will amount to another round of crisis.
They call it themselves a tipper owner and a tipper borrow pit. We are not trying to interfere into their business or into their association. But I don't want anybody to come into our own association. They are doing it. Let them continue with their own. I don't see any reason why they will come to our own association or our own tipper association to come and start collecting money. I will not accept such interfering.
They said they are going to come out tomorrow to cut a ticket for us. So we're not going to fight them. We are going to work, but we are going to resist them legally.
For the past 7 years, we have been paying revenue collection to Shomole, to Sajiaro. I don't know, this is the Tipper Drivers Association that have been paying this money. And there are documents to show that you're giving us that contract to be paid.
May not have been heard on the issue as the tipper drivers have vowed not to succumb to any form of additional levy. Adesuwa Lato reporting.
Edo State Governor Conrad Adams Oshiomhole has described efficient tax system as a way of redistributing wealth and ending inequality in the African continent. The governor was speaking at the 4th Zik lecture organized by the Faculty of Social Sciences, Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka in Anambra State. Christy McCauley has details.
Governor Adams Oshiomhole, who spoke on the topic African development and the crisis of inequality, the role of the organized labor, stressed the need for political leaders to strengthen the education system while redistributing the common of the people through taxation. The governor, who eulogizes Nigeria's first president, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, tasked leaders to ensure a robust national unity, which he stood for.
Let us consciously work hard to downplay those primordial divisive sentiments that seems to make it impossible for the victims of inequality to find a common platform to engage those responsible for the growing incidence of inequality in Nigeria, in Uganda, in Kenya, in South Africa, in Ghana, everywhere in the world.
Other lecturers who include Uganda motivational speaker Ethan Mussolini called on the African continent to evolve measures to shift people from white-collar jobs to entrepreneurship as a way of combating unemployment and poverty. Chancellor Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Professor Joseph Ahaniku, and the benefactor of the series, Senator Ben Obi, expressed confidence that the series have created a roadmap for generating ideas and transforming the society for better.
It's not about your resources, ladies and gentlemen, it's about your resourcefulness. And that's what the Vice Chancellor was alluding to, and Senator Obi, that you have to tap into your wisdom. For me, when I was starting out, I convinced a lady who was about 42, I was 26, I said, I can coach you to live a better life.
These are issues that are ahead of Africa. You need not get Africa today. Gap between the house and that there is a complete this gap. It may not be quite apparent of all the factors, land and capital. It is has the potential to activate the two other.
The lecture was attended by the widow of late Nnamdi Azikiwe, Professor Uche Nnamdi Azikiwe. Christy Macaulay reporting.
And the plan for civil commissioners in Edo State to commence rendering account of their stewardship suffered a setback at the Edo State House of Assembly yesterday, following requests by the first batch of commissioners to be excused to enable them attend the weekly State Executive Council meeting. Efosa Wangwe has details.
Of the 4 commissioners that were to appear before the House to give account of their stewardship, wrote to obtain excuse to attend the State Weekly Executive Council meeting and appealed for rescheduling of their appearances before the House. The 2 ministries are that of Culture and Industry, while nothing was heard from the Information and Orientation and Solid Minerals Commissioners. That notwithstanding, the Speaker Victor Duro, having gotten support from the members, accepted the excuses and promised to reschedule the 4 commissioners' appearance for a later date. The appearance of the commissioners is scheduled to officially kick off on Wednesday. The House also received a report from Chairman House Committee on Security. Efosa Wangwe reporting.
Independent television and radio has been described as one of the leading media organizations in Africa. The description came from the spiritual leader and general overseer, Christ Chosen Church of God International, most senior apostle Joshua Osasui, while receiving the management team of the organization in his office. Pius Nsogo reports that ITV radio management team were with the spiritual leader as part of visits to clients' station.
The independent and radio management team arrived at the international headquarters of Christ Church of God International into the warm embrace of the spiritual leader and general of the ministry, most senior apostle Joshua Osasui, and his ministers. In his remark, most senior apostle Joshua Osasui commended ITV and radio management team for unbiased reportage and quality programs of the station, and said ITV and radio has been consistent and fair in telling the people the truth. This, he said, stands the station out. Most senior apostle Osasui used the occasion to recall his long-standing relationship with the CMD of ITV and radio, the Esamar of Benin, whom he said is blessed by God and respected all over the world.
The owner, Chief, God has blessed him and given knowledge and wisdom to see that all this while he has been number one. I'm very glad that clergy men and women are at the forefront of the management of ITV. No wonder things have been so. Continue. We are praying for you. The people do not like the truth, solid stand.
Earlier in an address, the General Manager, Independent Television, Senior Elder Wede Wonse, said the management team of the station thought it wise to visit some of their clients who have been supportive of the station over the years. Senior Elder Wede Wonse thanked the spiritual father for his patronage while acknowledging his leadership and fatherly role in Christendom and in the society.
We, the management of Independent Television and Radio, have decided to visit you for many reasons. As a father, we need your prayers. Secondly, we want to appreciate you for the leadership qualities in piloting the affairs of your church, which is one of the largest congregations in the country, as well as sustaining unity in the affairs of the Benin City Christian community, of which you are the chairman.
The Independent Television and Radio management staff present during the visit include General Manager Radio, Elder Dan Omosusi. Pius Nsogo reporting.
The need for Nigerians not to discriminate against epileptic persons in the society have been emphasized. The President Anti-Epilepsy Foundation, Mrs. Angela Asemota, gave the advice at the first National Epilepsy Congress held in Benin City. Roslyn has details.
In a remark, the President Anti-Epilepsy Foundation, Mrs. Angela Asemota, said the non-governmental organization is committed to improving the quality of life of persons with epilepsy, their psychosocial well-being, promote social awareness, and reduce stigma associated with epilepsy. Mrs. Asemota said potential causes of seizures of epilepsy include brain malfunction, congenital abnormalities, bleeding in the brain, drug abuse, and lack of oxygen during or before childbirth, amongst others.
One of our goals is to see our life despite disabilities in persons with epilepsy. To replace ignorance and fear with understanding and care among persons with epilepsy.
In his speech, President Muhammadu Buhari, represented by the Chief Medical Director, UBTH, Professor Michael Ibadi, congratulated the President Anti-Epilepsy Foundation, Mrs. Angela Asemota, for the global objective in reaching out for those with epilepsy and continuous support to the foundation.
Most persons affected are children, and some can lead to psychiatric problems.
The event featured the inauguration of persons with epilepsy to represent the foundation in various states of the Federation. Some participants gave advice on how epilepsy can be managed or treated.
Epilepsy is not contagious. Epilepsy is not a disease, it's just a disorder that can be treated, and the patient can also live a fulfilled life.
If somebody is epileptic and is not having seizures all the time, like maybe twice a year, the person can drive a private vehicle, but an epileptic patient is not supposed under the law to drive a commercial vehicle.
My advice to the president, first of all, is to commend her for the great work that she's doing, because they are business is much.
There were goodwill messages from a representative of Bishop Sokoto Diocese, Most Reverend Dr. Matthew Koka, and Archbishop of Benin City, Most Reverend Dr. Augustine Akubeze, amongst others. The first National Epilepsy Congress of Angie Epilepsy Foundation, which will class on Wednesday, has epilepsy in Nigeria way forward as its theme. Roslyn Evorame reporting.
Edo State Police Command has placed a ban on the Kochi Okeshi Masquerade Festival in Igara, Akoko-Edo local government area. A statement by the Edo State Deputy Commissioner of Police, Abubakar Mohammed, says the ban is necessitated by the violence that is usually associated with the festival. The statement, which noted that arrangements have been concluded for the commencement of the festival on 19th November 2015, recalled that previous celebrations of the festival led to bloodshed, loss of lives and properties, which led to the ban of the Masquerade Festival in 2014. The statement explained that an appraisal of the security situation in Igara revealed that the town is yet to recover from the aftermath of the recent bank and armed robbery, which claimed several lives. The atmosphere is not conducive for such celebration, which antecedents is associated with bloodletting. And we'll now take a look at the weather prospects for cities across Nigeria and the rest of the globe for today, November 18th, 2015. Stay tuned. And that wraps it up on the news for this time. Don't forget to join us at 8:30 a.m. For more news updates, I am Ugochukwu Bami. Daily TMI continues. Good morning.
Independent television, certainly the best.
Remember saying that months now we accident happen. You drivers they call plenty parcel. Make una drive here. This message now from Independent Radio and Television.
The highly anticipated inauguration of ministers has come and gone, with the suspense worth the wait. President Muhammadu Buhari stunned many with what some have termed a tactical selection of team. Very few can say they actually predicted the portfolio of the ministers as assigned by President Muhammadu Buhari. The question today is, were square pegs put in square holes? Good morning and welcome to Viewpoint. I am Ifoma Igwe Okafor.
Tried and tested people like Fashola, who was able to rule Lagos, a complicated cosmopolitan place like that, can manage many things, whether works, housing, or so, despite the fact that he's not an engineer. And you will see he will perform wonders, because Lagos is full of complex people from all parts of the country, even from outsiders, and he was able to manage it successfully. So he's a square peg in a square hole. Other ones too, you saw the fellow from Enugu was giving external affairs, the lady from Osun State was giving finance. These are square pegs in square hole.
In respect of the portfolio assigned to the various ministers, to me, there are a lot of reservations, because if you look at that of the education, the substantive and the junior minister, the junior minister was the vice chancellor of a particular university, to have been, deputizing for a columnist. To me, doesn't go on well with the educational sector. Education is not where you put charlatans. I'm sorry to say, but that is the bone of the contention. And if you go to the finance, the woman there, to me, she doesn't have the pedigree to muzzle. Now that we are, experiencing some financial difficulties, we need a very, seasoned educationist, not a first degree in one course or the other. But I won't say that. If you look at it holistically, one would say to some extent, I will give the present the federal-led administration the 50% to the portfolio, to be very sincere, as a citizen of this country, because I want this country to move forward. The only areas I have reservations is the education, because education is the bedrock of every emerging society. If we get it wrong there, then I doubt what we are going to do in every other sector. I think they were rightly done. The president decided that these are the people he can work with, even with all the rancor. From the sharing of the portfolio, we can see that they are really the people he can work with. I think it's a round peg in a round hole.
As far as the minister's portfolio is concerned, I think the president have made some positive moves. Apart from the one of education, I think every other one is in order. But again, I will look at the issue of the Minister for Works, Housing, and that is the one of Lagos, former Lagos State Governor. That those are three powerful ministries that one person can be able to manage. We'll be able to spread it so that they have his supervising the minister about it. But I believe that the president have done well.
Matter of fact, the only position that has statutory requirement in the ministerial appointments and the assignment of portfolios is the Ministry of Justice and the Attorney General for the Federation. All others depends on who is there as the president, and he decides who to appoint and for what purpose to appoint them. Based on what he did recently, it goes to show that whoever contributed greatly should be given juicy position to enable him or her continue to contribute to his administration. Because some of them who were better placed by reason of training were given Minister of State, while others were given substantive position who thereafter will fall back on the Minister of State for necessary technical knowledge and ability. So as many as contributed greatly to his, because when you listen to the introduction, when they were being introduced, they will tell you this was a member of the presidential campaign team. So making him or her rank higher than any other person.
That of putting round pegs in round holes and square pegs in round hole, he never did that. Because for example, if you take somebody like Fashola, SAN, he's a lawyer. So one would have expected that somebody like Fashola should be Minister of Justice to the general. But he decided to use his wisdom, put him in power, works and housing. So, and I feel that, first of all, it's not a round peg in that place, because I'm sure it's not an engineer, it's not a builder, you know, it's not an electrician or electrical engineer. So, but I feel that he might perform. The only problem I see there is that somebody like Fashola was given 3 ministries to handle with 2 permanent secretaries. I will not say how can he cope with the situation, because we all know that the issue of power is a problem. We don't have light in this country. So I'm speaking with you now, there's no light. At times we have it for like 2 or 3 hours. One would have expected that he will just give him Ministry of Power. Then let us see
what he will be able to do in the next 2 years. Like now, we are still complaining about service charge. And if he is not confronting those problems, then he will still thinking about works and housing. It's an enormous task. And one would have expected that they even have some ministers designate that were not giving any portfolio. Like we in Edo State, we are disappointed because the kind of support he was getting from the comrade governor, because we all knew how the comrade governor was supporting him and everything. At the end of the day, they gave us a junior minister for health. Like the minister I put in sports, in charge of sports, has no background in sports. And why must he always come from Plateau State? Do you understand? All minister of sports, you see them coming from Plateau State. And okay, like the minister for FCT, is always given to a northerner. Why? That place is supposed to be a detribalized capital where anybody be minister for FCT, a Yoruba man can be, but right from time you see them giving to the north. I think it is unfair on other Nigerians and other parts of the country.
Time will tell whether these people are capable. They get me appointed, but Nigeria wants quick action, quick attention to these problems on ground. So to me, whether they are competent or not, time will tell. So let's wait. Like my brother Fashola has been assigned 3 portfolio: power, works, and housing. It's a big gigantic work, but we give them time. With time, to me, whether you are giving 4 portfolio or 3 portfolio, what you want to know is that your ideas, just putting ideas there for other people, the permanent secretary to carry out. So let them table the ideas and give it to the PS to carry out. So time will tell. Let's give them chance. At the end of 1 year, if we are still remain on the same ground, we will not know these people have failed. Then we cannot be telling the president, please, these people you have appointed, they are incompetent. But for now, we cannot say anything. Fashola was the governor of the state. And as a governor, you know everything concerning the state. Whether power, housing, anything in the state. So like Buhari is a military general, but he knows how to face the country. So what I will say, it doesn't mean whether you are a lawyer or say. As I tell, time will tell.
Finally, we have ministers to work with the President of the Federation, Muhammadu Buhari. Whether they are round pegs in round holes or square pegs in round holes, Nigerians expect a better result. And we wish them well. I am Ifoma Igwe Okafor. Good morning.
Hey, if you don't know, I'm a child of a president. Paparazzi every day in my residence. It's TV on the bed. When I wake up, girl, you keep your mobile. Jara, jara, eh. Heaven is what I want to know. I want to know. The word of Jehovah is what I'm set to know. No one pass me the message, make me feel alright. You keep my follow me. As we the president they go, if they do what they call it, I don't want to see ya. Wow, Baptist, Pentecostal, the praise them as long as the praise they come from the present. Money, motor, you get your visa into the bye bye. I see you the praise and night and day. They sing like sugar cane. Blessing follow we go. As we the president go. Yeah, I know what they call it. I don't want to see everything.
Child, Jesus Christ was born on Christmas Day.
It's another time to commemorate the birth of our Lord Jesus Christ, and independent television radio in conjunction with House of Favor International Church brings you the 2015 9 lessons and carols under the distinguished chairmanship of Engineer Chris Ogiewonyi, FNSE, JP, former Minister of State for Works and Edo State APC Chief.
Special guest of honor, Honorable Matthew Udweyekeme, former Majority Leader, Edo State House of Assembly, and PDP.
It's going to be a celebration. Featuring ITV Blessed Voices, Hofik Mass Choir, Agbo CGM Choir, a former branch, St. Joseph Catholic Church Choir, and other gospel artists. Special appearance, ITV Radio Psychedelic Father Christmas. Ministry is the Senior Pastor of House of Favor International Church, Pastor Lucky Onaiwu. Readers are Morrison Ogunroba of the Chairman of the Southwest Local Government, Chief Lucky James, former Edo State Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs,
Engineer Omoyegi Ogbedi Iyama, Member, House of Representatives, representing Oedo Federal Constituency, and Chairman, House Committee on Culture and Tourism, Chief Joe Ejonwele, member, House of Representatives, representing Esan West, Esan Central, and Igweben Federal Constituency. Pastor Osage Izeyamu, former secretary to Edo State Government and PDP chieftain.
Honorable Elizabeth Ativier, member representing Wode constituency, Edo State House of Assembly. Honorable Felix Isuko, Executive Director, Edo Internal Revenue Service. Apostle Dr. Emmanuel Ligehon, General Overseer, Banner Solution Christian Assembly, Benin City. Barrister Chris Abare, former Commissioner, Ministry of Energy and Water Resources. Chief Patrick Aguinade, Managing Director, Pattern Chemicals, and former Commissioner, Ministry of Basic Education. Honorable Eze Desmond Igbas, member representing Esan Northeast Constituency, Edo State House of Assembly. Miss Iyesogie Osewa, member Edo State Children's Parliament and President, Pick Up Africa Project. Honorable Washington Osi, Edo State Commission Energy and Water Resources. Honorable Zua Johnson Agbonaima, representatives representing Ego and the Bobaka Federal Constituency. Honorable Justin Okonobo, member, Edo State House of Assembly, representing Igweben Constituency. Pastor Silver Wealth, Senior Pastor, Canaan Land Deliverance Ministry. Honorable Itoha Ogbede, Chairman, Ikboboka Local Government and Chairman, Algon, Edo State. Honorable Reginald Okun, Chairman of Local Government. Honorable Joseph Ayegbeni Uhoke, Commissioner for Land and Survey, Edo State. Chief Jimo Ijegbai, Chairman of One East Local Government. Honorable Chris Iyare, Edo State Chairman, Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria. Honorable Chris Okaiben, member representing Oredo West Constituency, Edo State House of Assembly.
Professor Sylvester Oriefo, Professor of Chemistry, University of Benin. Professor Ernest Izebige, Vice Chancellor, Benson Idahosa University. Sir Nusakai Ogbede, President, National Association of Private and Proprietary Schools.
Honorable Desmond Ugbo, Acting Chairman, Ego Local Government Area. Honorable Sam Obo, Esan Local Government. Join us to celebrate Sunday, 3rd December 2015. Time 1 p.m. Venue is the House of Favor International Church, Old Western Road, Fastest Secular Benin City. Jesus is the reason for the season.
Okay, many thanks for finding time to join us again on our program this morning on ITV. And you just watched the Independent Radio and Television 9 lessons on choral that is going to come up sometime in this December. And of course, it's going to be a big one and a great one indeed. Well, I did say that we're going to look at emanating issues as it relates to the present fuel scarcity in Benin, in other parts of the country. And only yesterday somebody said that he bought a liter for about 200 naira in Asaba. And if you will go through the major newspapers for today. In Rivers, we are told that petrol sells for 300 naira per litre, and of course 150 naira in Anambra State. Why queues may persist? Why queues may persist? And of course, we are also told that the issue of the oil subsidy is still very, very much controversial. Well, it was told that the president has sent a proposal to the National Assembly so that effects will be made, so that the money will be released for oil importers, and only for us to know again today that the National Assembly has said that they've not received any proposal. So where are we? I really don't know. Well, today to discuss the present fuel scarcity and emanating issues, I have the IPMAN PRO here, Mr. Leonard Ebagwa. So welcome to the program this morning on ITV.
Nice to see you. Good morning.
And of course, I have a brother and a friend. I call him a youth activist, a human rights activist, and of course, a public affairs analyst. Solomon Idiogbe, you're welcome.
Good morning.
The immediate past chairman of Edo Youth Congress,
National Youth Council.
Congress, National Youth Council in Benin City and Edo State here. So you're welcome to the program this morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
Okay, we are just going to start from this news, this headline that I have here, that an end to the current fuel crisis may not be certain, but we're told that by the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Dr. Ibe Kachuku, yesterday gave an indication that a new pump price will come into effect from January. So when you say a new pump price, whether it's going to be a downward reduction or an upward increment is something that we don't know now. By the way, as this segment progresses, viewers out there will be allowed to call and also maybe make their suggestions as we what we can do as a nation to really put this issue of fuel scarcity to a halt, and so that it will never resurface again. Now, Leonard Ebagwa, what is happening now? What is responsible for this present fuel scarcity?
The truth is, Evans, there is no product, and as long as there is no product in the country, there is bound to be scarcity. The economics make us to understand that when the demand is high and the supply is low, so there are bound to be scarcity. So actually there is no product in the country, and the little one they have is when that's the product that has been rationed, within the states and also within the marketers as well. So for now, I'll tell you truly that here in Benin Depot we have nothing, no petrol, no single 1 liter, and this depot has been lying fallow for some years now. So the only thing you have there is AGO. So there's no petrol, and that's sad. That's the situation.
Well, it is the NNPC that is in control of petroleum, products in Nigeria. Because when you say that there's no product, it baffles me personally. Because if you go around some of the private depots in Delta States and some other parts of the country, you find this product available. So how come that government would tell us that there is no product, whereas private practitioners in the business, they have the product to sell?
That's also our concern. Our concern in the sense that most of the products you find in those private depots are government products, and these are products that we are importing into the country. So they spread them within the depots. Some depots at Ogara, whereby Benin Depot goes to Benin marketers this time goes to that depot in Ogara, to lift this product. And these products that are there are not just meant for Benin Depot. This depot serves about 3 states: Edo, Kogi, and part of Ondo. So what you have there is just too small, And that same place is where the major marketers also go to, like mega stations also go there. I think the whole problem is the federal government. Since they bring in this mega, the retail stations, outlets, stations, they kind of concentrate their products on mega, leaving the independent marketers to fend for themselves, which is not actually a good thing. Mega is a subsidiary of its own, and sometimes they also import petrol, and PPMC supplies the independent petroleum marketers. So as we speak, none of the refineries are working, and if the refineries are not working, then that is to say the independent petroleum marketers cannot get products from PPMC. So that's where we are.
All right, Solomon Ejigbe, because this is a civil issue. It borders on all of us, all as citizens of this country, and I think that's the reason why you are so apt for this kind of discussion today. Now, at the introduction of this government, about 1 or 2 months into this government's administration, we're told that about 4 refineries, have been revamped, and they were working, and well, we saw fuel and all that. Now we're told that there's nothing like that. I really don't know how we can put this together.
Yeah, it was a news item about a few months ago, rather, and I also recall that President Buhari quickly mentioned that they should not, because people were saying no, he has not even entered in filling stations, depots, and the refineries are working and all that. And the man said, don't give me the credit. If it's working, then its credit should not be given to me. Perhaps the truth were yet to be mentioned or to be told. But putting that aside, I don't think I had some worrisome comments from the Ipman PRO, yeah. And I feel but puzzled, to hear certain comments. But of course, we know that part of this whole problem has to do with government, and also has to do with the marketers. One of the worrisome comments was that there is no product, not even 1 liter, at the government depot. Yeah, and that alone causes for questioning. Yet it is a Benin depot, and he went further to say, because I listened very carefully, that for years the depot has not been functional. Yet it is a depot, and what has those concerned, the authorities concerned, been able to do, since for years the depot has not been functioning? On the one side, I know that many things happen when it comes to government bureaucracies having to do with individuals, because for instance, if you are not in government, you cannot see what happens in government. But I make bold to say this, that what we observe as against what I'm hearing is clearly an artificial scarcity. And let me quickly put on note that the Ibekachuku did not say, because he clearly stated that the issue of reducing pump price, I listened to him yesterday on news, was out of it. But they are going to do everything necessary to ensure that things are placed the way they should be.
Okay, well, let's take a short pause now, so that we'll bring you news updates at 8:30. And of course, when we come back, we're going to continue on this discussion segment, the present for scarcity and also emanating issues. Remember, I told you that viewers are allowed to call 052-290-05 052-290-573 will be the number. Stay tuned.
Remember saying Vermont now to me and you driver make una care. This message from Independent Radio and Television.
Traffic congestion is avoidable if we all obey traffic rules and regulations. Stop recklessness on roads. Stop the congestion. Obey traffic and regulations. This message is brought to you. Television and radio.
Good morning and thanks for joining us on the news update for this time. I am Adisuwa Osa Uwage. Commercial activities at Obavorame Square and environs in Benin City were disrupted for hours yesterday following a protest by thousands of Edo women over the insult on the Isama of Benin, said Dr. Gabriel Igbenedion by Governor Shiomole. The women under the aegis of concerned Edo women said also protesting against the many unfulfilled promises of Governor Shiomole's administration in Edo State. Uchebu has more.
The women dressed in red protest through Obavorame with stop over Mission Road Junction and their motor at Oba Market Road, where the custodian of the shrine decried the insult on the Samar of Benin by Governor Shiomole
yeah. Emma. Oroba. I did the level now. Oroba. The level now. So man, why have
protest attracted a lot of sympathizers as it made its way through Obermarket Road and route above Roman Square to the Edo State Assembly Complex. Protesters continued to the metropolis. Some of the protesters said their grievance was the insult on the personality of the Samar of Benin, Sir Chief Dr. Osawari, whom they hold in high esteem, first-class chief, and a man who has contributed immensely to the uplift of Edo women. The protesters called on Governor Adams Oshomole and a public to their Samar, who they said brought him to limelight.
The thing when the like they do, after they come do it finish, I go the cause and not agree. Some they good for all women, all men, on the chief. Then they come and meet us, even do his birthday. Now some make us know horse at the age before 30 years. They do help for us. Scholarship, everything. They do for us. Now only Millennium. Some of Benin. Now only Millennium bring money for stadium. Where they take do help for the war. At time of Ali, like Millennium get money by that time, bring money to release Ali. So many things where Millennium do for this those states. It pay me. All the thieves just quiet, they laugh as you sort of summer. Very painful.
I'm a Shomole. But some of don't ya summer. And I went me where or we equal on our Jane a summer get. Papa, no matter doing your door. No matter ya, or matter doing your door. Oh, salop back. I got back out. I can't do it. Ted Donaya Fefe. Or doing some. A when come.
Other protesters said the administration's anti-people is targeted impoverishing Edo people and years of absence of infrastructure, among other grievances.
That assembly to lay our complaint to the legislator so that they will know our pains in Edo State, but as we speak, they refuse to come out to attend to us. So we want to use the media to tell the world that we are not getting it right in Edo State. Anything they hear from the governor is a camouflage. All of a sudden, he has come down to bring out a land use charge. We're a state where there's no industry. A state where we cannot make money rather than taxation. We are now crying that the tax is too much on us. Even now, the water we drink, we are paying tax. In our schools, he said red roof. Where is red roof? Go to schools. You will find that there's no single chair for children to sit down. We are still where we are. We are tired of the camouflage. We are tired of the deceit. That's why we have come out to say no to him this time. And at the same time, he is insulting our one and only Esama, who touches the life of all Edolites. We want him to stop it. We don't like it, and it's not what we want in those states.
Oshomola is throwing words, bad words to Benin. Our greatest Sama of Benin Kingdom. That man is very, very great for Benin. It's very, very great for Benin. He don't go make governor they insult anyhow of what the governor is doing to the women. Not only the women, although he affects the men, but we are protesting because of the school fees increase. 1, 2 is asking us to be paying for the house we suffer to build. When he's not paying us, meanwhile he's supposed to be paying us as an elderly people. He's not paying us. He's bringing a law that they establish whether in America or in UK to Nigeria. Forgetting that in UK, they pay the elderly people. Most of hospital we are paying. We are paying school fees for our children. And it's not helping us, rather it's increasing our sorrow. He's saying that we should pay for our house that we built when we were very young. Not to cry, even not to cry it, it's insulting the only reputable man we have in Edo State, who is a Sama. And we have never seen such. Nobody insult Dangote in the north. Nobody insult Aminu Kano. That is Dantata in the north. Why is he insulting our only man that we use to pride? With the women, we are not cowards. So we want him to stop it. Whatever he thinks that is good for him is not good for us. We vote him in. He should remember that we vote him into power. He's not using his own power, but he should consider us that vote him. We have the right to bring him back to wherever he's come from.
The officers served at the locations monitor the protest, which also led to gridlock at Obovarame and environs. Kingsley Chebu.
The Inspector General of Police, Mr. Solomon Arase, has said that the police were aware of plans by some politicians in Kogi State to clothe thugs in police uniform during the governorship election scheduled for this Saturday. Mr. Arase, who made this known yesterday in Lokoja at a stakeholders forum, said that the intention of the perpetrators was to disrupt the election and cause mayhem. He described the action of those behind the act as wrong and wasteful investment. He disclosed that measures have been taken to properly identify 12,000 policemen that will be on duty during the election. The police boss also said that police will be supported by the military, Civil Defense Corps, Immigration, Customs and Federal Road Safety Commission to provide effective security during the poll. On the safety of electoral officials, Mr. Arase said that nobody would be allowed to threaten or intimidate them. He added that the Assistant Inspector General of Police in charge of Zone 8, Mr. Lawal Tanko, and 3 commissioners of police would be deployed to coordinate police activities before, during, and after elections. A fresh crisis seems to be brewing in the haulage industry in Edo State over the alleged emergence of another group threatening to take over the operations of the industry. Adesu Walato reports that tipper drivers have vowed to resist any attempt by any group to use up their activities.
Though the dust raised by the crime that rocked the haulage industry in Edo State for months is still settling down after crisis. Another crisis is rearing its head. Some tipper drivers who spoke with the news crew, another group threatening to use another them. Among said they will vehemently, as they are legitimately empowered to engage in their operations. They said, as law-abiding citizens of the state, they decided to respect the law, but were quick to say that the introduction of another levy regime will amount to another round of crisis.
They call it themselves a tipper owner and a tipper borrow pit. We are not trying to interfere into their business or into their association, but I don't want anybody to come into our own association. They are doing their own. Let them continue with their own. I don't see any reason why they will come to our own association or our own tipper association and start collecting money. I will not accept such interfering.
They said they are going to come out tomorrow to cut the ticket for us. So we're not going to fight them. We are going to work, but we are going to resist them legally.
For the past 7 years, we have been paying revenue collection to Shomole, to his GRO. I don't know. This is the Tipper Drivers Association that have been paying this money. And there are documents to show that you're giving us that contract to be paid.
The last may not have been on the issue. The tipper driver vowed not to succumb to any form of additional Adesuwa Lato reporting.
That's it for now. Join us again at 9:30. Good morning.
Okay, it is still This Morning on ITV, Wednesday's edition with Evans Unokoge. And we're looking at the present fuel situation in Benin, in other parts of Nigeria, and also trying to look at the emanating issues and see how we can provide a solution to all this problem. Well, Idiogbe, a while ago, you were about, your displeasure.
Yes.
I
was saying that it is totally incorrect to say that there are no products. Product no, they will not get 1 liter. Petrol station they say 130, 150. Where they get them?
He just said so now. He said it's from private depot.
I understand. He also went for that. I'm trying to analyze what I heard. He also went for that to say yes, there are products. Again, that those products belong to the federal government. Rather than stop those products in government refineries, like the Benin depot, for instance, they are going to stop those products at private depots. Products day. That means there's products. But what it is that it's been diverted. That is executive diversion to create what? Artificial scarcity. That is the plain truth. Which means the cabal has still not relaxed. And that is why we said that this issue of fuel subsidy and no fuel subsidy is all a scam. Look at it. I watched on air. President Buhari, you mentioned it quite a while just on that. President Buhari was talking about 4.13 billion.
Yeah, 413 billion naira
to the National Assembly. Yeah. As an addition to make things.
Payment for the fuel subsidy.
Now look at it. Subsidy will be paid for the fuel that you and I did not get, that we bought above pump price. You understand? It's all still robbing Peter to pay Paul. There are products stocked somewhere. There are products diverted somewhere. People will buy it at high price, claiming that it has not been subsidized. We bought it at high price. Federal government will now pay 413 billion naira of our money.
No, the subsidy they are talking about now is for the fuel that has been imported.
It's the same story. Is it not the same fuel that we are buying now? Now the one where they want to bring, it's the same story. So all this tells us to one point. There is somebody there who does not want the truth to come out. I'm glad that Mr. President has said he is the petroleum minister, which means the box office is stable, which means the problem is rested upon him. And for once, I saw Mr. President speaking through Ibe Kachuku yesterday, because I remember many years ago that was the rule, price regulation. If you sell anything above approved price, they will come to your shop, bust it open and auction it. I said it here during while we were talking about campaigns and pre-election issues. And for once yesterday, I had Mr. President talking through Ibe Kachuku. Any filling station caught or any marketer caught diverting or filling station holding fuel, such a product be released free. Person wey no wan commit murder should not ask what jail sentence or what punishment is it for murder. So those who should be crying that is draconian or is harsh should be those who know they are indulging themselves in that act. Again, Nigerian people are paying through their nose. If I follow him very rightly or very correctly, yeah, he may be saying correctly the way it is, but again, it is like a problem, a burden on the Nigerian people. Because in the end, when fuel is being diverted, because I had him mentioning the issue of payments. If you stock petroleum products, there are also ways of making money and generating revenue. And somebody is responsible for diversion of fuel. Because whether you like it or not, when fuel is not stocked on the the government-owned refineries or fuel depots and is stored on the private depots, it's diversion. It's an executive diversion.
Okay,
so
now,
in the end, it still goes back to the point that those same cabal who were responsible for fuel diversion, hoarding, scam of subsidy and whatever are still in existence. And what we think that is the way forward is to look very critical. It's not this superficial or cosmetic approach to issues. First, we are seeing a drastic action being taken yesterday. An announcement has been made that if anybody caught hoarding fuel, such filling stations and such products be dispensed freely to the people. It should not end like that. The president should go further to ensuring that people involved in this artificial scarcity, hoarding, diversion, or this subsidy scam should be brought to book.
Okay, let me pause you, Duke. Now, Mr. Ibagwa, let us look at some of the situations really on ground, because personally I've noticed that whenever there is fuel scarcity, that's when you tend to have most independent marketers. I mean, you are the IPMAN PRO now, you belong to that body. That's when you tend to have most independent marketers, having products to sell. Take for example, when I was driving from Ring Road down to Loko yesterday, I can mention about 4 or 5 filling stations that before this time they have the product, but now that you have the product for 120, 130, 150, they now have the product to sell. So is it that some independent marketers they just wait for the scarcity period so that they can make more profit?
I will tell you that independent petroleum marketers at those states don't have depots of their own, and they also don't have refineries of their own. When you are given a license to run a petrol station, I think in your bulk purchase is clearly stated that when the government don't have products, you are at liberty to source for products for yourselves. So when there are issues like this, when there are times like this, you see the marketers, I think they should be given kudos for being able to source for products at the time of the scarcity. Most of these products you see that is being sold here now are products that they get from some private depots in Lagos. So, and the one that we are even giving to them from the government allocation, that's about two to four trucks on a daily basis. And why the Benin depot was functioning. On a daily basis, you load up to about 50 trucks on a daily basis. And a depot that feeds about 50 trucks on a daily basis, and as at today, you can only run on about 2 to 4, 5 trucks a day. I mean, what are you going to get? Scarcity. So instead of blaming the independent petroleum marketers, I think kudos should be given to them for going extra mile to source for products. And what cripples this state most is that, you see, when I think for more than 4 years, I have always been saying this in this station, that in the then Bende state, there was the Benin depot and the refinery. And when they split the state, the Benin depot becomes a property of Edo State, yeah, and the refinery becomes a property of Delta State. And I'm not shifting blame to nobody, but I know that if the Benin depot belongs to a state, I think that state will do everything possible to make sure that his depot is being filled with the product, because the purpose of the Benin depot is to evacuate product that is refined in the water refinery. That depot has a capacity to receive and also transfer to a different depot. Now that Warri Depot is now being used as also a storage depot, then I think the state government of our state would have asked questions that why is this depot lying fallow? Because if you don't refine and you don't push product to this depot cannot automatically go to Ikpuba River to refill. So instead of shifting this blame to independent marketers, I think they should be encouraged to source for more products, and let's see how they can wet the state.
Okay,
most especially when the
yeah, in as much as we are going to be encouraging the independent marketers now. Now, I remember clearly that when this administration came on board, I think it was somebody, I can't remember the name directly now, that said that the administration has brought some vessels of fuel that will last the country for the next 7 months. And this is November now. I'm not sure if this administration is up to 7 months, and now we're talking about scarcity. So is it that because you are into the business, is it that somehow because a while ago you talked about bulk purchase and all that, is it that somewhere along the line some persons in the system just tell Nigerians what they need to hear so as to have their way? I mean, don't people have ask questions?
We are businessmen. We are not politicians. And the political aspects of the petroleum industry, we leave it to the political players to play. But as far as we are concerned, if there are products in the depot which is assigned to Benin Depot, we will lift that product. But for now, there's shortage of products.
Okay. Now you want to say something?
Yeah, you see, I have been nodding my head because this is where we always get it wrong. I nod my head because I see the Ipman PRO really doing his job, trying to paint the issues the way it befits his group.
No, it's
I'm entitled to my opinion.
Okay.
For me, it's been economical with the truth. Let's call it. Give applause to which independent marketers. When the government has fuel, you won't buy. You don't get. Is that what we're trying to say? That's only when it's not available because they now have freedom to go and source software. So they now went to source software and bought for 130 and they are selling for 1.
He said that they make requisition for bulk purchase.
You see.
Now government gives.
I have ears. I listened. Understanding differs. Maybe you are interpreting from your understanding. I'm interpreting from the understanding of the people.
No, of course, the Ipman PRO is here. So
you see, the truth of the matter is this. We all know how it bites on us. I knew, this morning I had to go with a bag, buy fuel for 130. So it bites on us all. And you know that this nation, as we speak today, runs on fuel. That man in a market that has a saloon needs to run her saloon with fuel because BDC is not functional. That small barber, local barber, that you need to go cut your hair in a salon needs to run on fuel. Otherwise, you won't get your hair cut. So every and any business in this country is dependent on fuel. It has its chain effect on the people. So we must address it with all sincerity. I really don't have, you don't say let's not put blames. Put blames where it's appropriate. For instance, I applaud the efforts of Mr. Governor hearing the voice of the people yesterday, dissolve the committee. That is how to be proactive.
No, but the governor has not told us that it's because of the committee did not cause the first necessity.
People have been crying that if, for instance, the committee had been alive to its responsibility, the biting effect on the people would have been a little bit reduced. So it takes me back to the issue of Ipman. Ipman is a group. They are more or less like another pressure group who seeks and intervenes as it affects his people. And we expect that even the common men are part of the people. Because if you are an independent marketer, you are trying to sell to the consumer, which is the people. And I expect that you don't always look at it. I listened to him. He made one statement. He said they are businessmen. And I've said it often times on this station that there are 4 sets of persons you fear in this country. You must fear the politicians. You must fear the businessmen.
He said. Let's take it down now. Now, let me correct you. Now, he said that they are businessmen. Fine. I mean, they go into business to make profits, you know. So you cannot expect them to go into business and make loss.
We didn't say make loss, but also remember that it has a betting effect on you and I. Let me tell you, for every 1 liter sold, and for every 1 naira added on 1 liter, selling 1 million liter, you have made 1 million naira. And you are adding 100 naira.
No, what
50 naira.
Excuse me, but what are you blaming the independent marketers now for making
all
these products?
share in the blame.
No,
a spade and not a unless you are said to have come here to be economical with the truth.
Yeah, but let me tell you something quickly. Now, like yesterday, I bought for 130. Now, I asked questions, and of
they come back and tell you now DPRO said those who are holding. We all know these games.
Okay.
You
now,
see how much issue of fear.
Yeah.
It's a betting issue on the Nigerian people. The common man uses fear even much more than you now.
Okay.
That think that you have. You see, let me tell you, owning a car in Edo State is not a leisure anymore.
Okay, hold on.
No pleasure.
Hold on.
It's a necessity.
All right, but you just pause that now. Ibagwa, let us look at it now, because the accusation is here that you guys probably buy these products and inflate price and all that. You want to speak on that so that we'll get it clear?
I listen to my friend, you know, ventilating his anger, and I can understand.
Not on you anyway, on the situation.
No, I can understand his situation. He also does not know that, you know, what we do are community service. We also have families, we have friends out there who buy these products. And I just tell you, there is no a normal IPMA person or IPMA marketer who gets a product for 77 naira 66 kobo that will sell that product for 100 and something naira. It's never done, and it's never acceptable. So as far as IPMA is concerned, IPMA also have its own monitoring team. So any product that is allocated to you from the government depot, you must sell that product at government approved price.
So they monitor in the interest of IPMAN or in the interest of the public?
No.
When you say monitoring team, they will monitor to the interest of IPMAN.
Yes. When I say monitor, the petroleum industry has the monitors. The DPRO is there to monitor the products. The weight and measure is there to check the quantity of the product and also to monitor the product. Then NNPC also have its own monitoring team. So when products are given to you by NNPC, which is PPMC, to a particular station, the depot manager also have his own team that monitors that product to make sure that that product goes to that station and is also sold at government approved price. But however, in a normal situation, when a marketer have gone to source for product, that I cannot tell you how much he bought his product, because he went outside the federal government allocation to source for his product. And once that such product is being sourced for, he knows how much he buys them. But as far as the government is concerned, you have to live, live according to the pump price that is given to you. So any product that is given to any marketer from any of the government depot, you must sell that product at 87 naira.
Okay. Now, there seems to be a kind of a controversy now between the presidency and the National Assembly, on this fuel crisis. Now, just today, if you go through the Punch newspaper, we have this headline that says that we have not received Buhari's 413 billion naira subsidy proposal, and that comes from the National Assembly. Now, this proposal is supposedly to be a kind of that the National Assembly will now approve, so that the money will be for importers for their so-called subsidy now. And if you go through all this, you will discover that members of the National Assembly are saying that they've not received any proposal from the presidency, whereas the presidency is saying that they've sent a proposal to the National Assembly. Now, the implication of this is that this fuel crisis may linger, because fuel importers have said that without paying their subsidy, that they are not going to import fuel products anymore. And this is the Yuletide period. I mean, Christmas is just around the corner. Now, my concern here is that this is something that it occurs almost every this time. I mean, on this period of the year. Now, what do we do? How can we get out of all this?
Evans, somebody is not telling the truth, obviously. Like I said, sometimes some of us are just being economical with the truth. I listened to Kachuku yesterday. He said, I spoke with the Senate president, and he was saying because he won't come on national television to say I spoke with the Senate president, and I'm sure that himself and his team are doing something about it. But let us also know too that it's a bureaucracy between the presidency and the National Assembly to get documents transmitted. Yes, it may have been true that Mr. President have appended his signature and have ensured, but it takes another role. Most times in government, they would do letters. It will have to go to protocol, dispatch, and all that. So it's all. I'm not holding brief for anybody, but I'm trying to tell you that, well, it may not be unconnected, but whichever way it is, Mr. President have told us that he has sent
a proposal.
We take it like that. Senate say they never see him, and they go to see him. That we are told. So we'll still see. But again, let me also let you know this. I know, I'm aware that some of these house members are owners of filling stations. They make quick money.
Yeah, but do you have proof to that? Can you prove that?
Is it a secret? And you want to say you don't know some of our legislators, even at the State House Assembly or at the National Assembly,
I don't know any.
So you see, these are some of the.
No, I don't know.
These are some of the facts that I say we are economical with the truth. You understand? Let us not mind swears. So when it's not working in their favor, most of these people are there to work for their pockets. So the truth of the matter is this: it is that time we call a spade a spade and not a farm tool. The issue of fuel scarcity is biting on us all. It's not an issue of political parties. It's not a PDP thing. It's not an APC thing. Because when you want to buy fuel for a filling station, they're not going to ask you which party you belong to. You pay. So we should look beyond this party line. And I liked it when Mr. Senate President mentioned to them when they're talking about unemployment payment or whatever the promises made. He said the issue of this unemployment goes beyond political parties. So it's at time we looked at issues very critically, address it the way it should be, not this cosmetic approach that we are putting. If my laying blames on federal government saying it's DPRO that's not doing their work, DPRO says it's PPMC that is. You see, the truth of the matter is that somebody out there is sitting on our phones. Somebody right out there is playing games with the Nigerian states. It is hard time we looked at issues the way they are, address it the way it is, and make it good for the people of Nigeria. Because fear is not only for those who have cars, not only for motorcycle riders or keke napep riders. Every household now have at least better pass my neighbor, and it will not work unless you have fuel to generate power, because everybody now is a local government on its own. You provide security, you provide electricity, you provide water and everything. So that is the kind of country we are in, and you cannot get all this. You cannot pump water without fear.
Okay, now we'll hold on now. I was going to open up the line 052290573 so that viewers out there can also call and tell us the way it is in their area, how much you bought fuel, maybe yesterday, this morning, and maybe somehow prefer solution so that this fuel scarcity will just be a thing of the past in the country. 052290573, 052290573, and the number will be displayed on the screen any moment from now. 052290573. Now, Leonard Ibagwa, let us look at the issue of the fuel subsidy, proposal. So, as a practitioner in the petroleum industry, now what are your own findings about it?
Evans, the truth there is that Obasanjo, during his regime, kind of make these things easier and simpler when he gave out licenses to private individuals to have private depot.
Okay.
And also to those who also wishes to have a private refinery. And I also know that Jonathan also followed suit, former President Jonathan, and he even went further during his try to completely deregulate the product by removing subsidy. I tell you the truth, any person who means well for this country, Nigeria, should completely deregulate the petroleum products. Once that is done, then this scarcity, no product will be a thing of the past. Because if you don't deregulate this sector, you can imagine between the Aso Rock and the National Assembly, a proposal was sent. I'm not, you understand?
Yeah.
Just within Abuja, probably just few.
Maybe within the same compound, so to say.
Okay. Now money is already involved. You can't get the truth now. You can't even get the truth now because money is involved. So, my dear, anyone who means well for this nation should first of all think of removing that fuel subsidy. And once you do that, anything corruption in this country is gone.
Okay, 052290573, 052290573. We're expecting your call out there, and you tell us your name, where you're calling from, and also tell us the situation, the way it is in your area, where you bought fuel from, and how much you bought. 052290573. Now, Solomon Idiobe, how do we really get out of it? I mean, I want to see Nigeria to be a country that you can go to any filling station and buy fuel. I mean, if Togo, if Benin Republic here, if you can go to a filling station and buy fuel, I don't know why it's not working in Nigeria here. Why it's not the same thing here?
Corruption is the order of the day. It's part of the blood of the Nigerian people. Insincerity. Even as we are sitting here, we are not all too sincere, even on issues. So it's like the order of the day. So I think to an extent I agree that you say deregulation. But again, all the deregulation we don't get, what we don't get out of it? See electricity now. You understand? So sometimes when you look at this issue of sometimes it makes us think, where are we going? But again, it is issue of corruption. It is issue of doing the right thing at the right time.
Okay, I think we have a caller on the line. 0522900573. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Your name and where you're calling from.
Hello.
Yeah, hello. Good morning.
I'm calling from Ekewa Road. This issue of fuel scarcity, I actually bought 130 this morning.
130.
At the slope, at Asoro slope there.
Okay.
I think the government is to be held responsible because the monitoring unit, petroleum monitoring unit, they are not doing their job. This independent marketers, they bought this fuel wherever they bought it from. But we have a body regulating this pump pricing. The prices is not even the issue. Their meters, they will still tie it. You will pay 1,000 and the meter will not still be correct. So in fact, the government should be held responsible. If now they are doing their business, fine. But government has a way, government to perceive every other association and every other body that in this sector. So the government should be held responsible. They don't check meter, they don't check the gauges, they leave these people to do whatever they want to do. You even pay that 130 to be giving you less than a liter for that amount. Black market is even better than black market is better. Don't you imagine where those people get products from? And you are telling us that the refinery or the depots do not have products. Where products are go to downstream junction, black market are making a whole lot of money. So government, they are the ones to be held responsible because they have a way of regulating this thing.
Alright, thank you very much for your call. 0522900573. Now, Leo Ebagwa, you heard this last caller.
I think I agree with him because
yeah, you know,
most times when you say, I was making reference some time ago, a few days ago, there's a filling station I usually go by for 120, and when they have here at 120, I prefer to go there and buy. You know why? I am sure that their meter is accurate.
Okay. Now, Leo Ibagwa, I'm going to ask you because a while ago you talked about your own monitoring committee. Now, I do know that in Edo State now, just only yesterday, the monitoring committee, Petroleum Monitoring Committee, was dissolved. So I just hope and pray that the Comrade Governor will quickly put up another committee so that they'll begin to work in that direction. Now, your own monitoring committee, do you try to see if pump, liters, if they are correct? I mean, talking about the dispensing, machines and all that, if they are not tampered with.
There is something about business which you must understand, and like I said a while ago, we are doing a community service, and if a marketer out there decide to shortchange his customers, what you are doing actually to yourself is that you are destroying your business. So if a marketer decide to start destroying his business, I think it's left for him, because the populace, the people out there, they know that a liter is a liter. They know 4 liter, they know 10 liter, they know 20 liters.
Yeah, the reason why I'm asking this question, I've not seen a situation whereby you hear that a filling station is sealed by IPMAN because of their sharp practices, but rather it is government committees, monitoring committees, that seal up filling stations.
IPMAN has no right to seal up an IPMAN
own petrol station.
You mean you don't discipline your members?
No, what I'm saying is that there is a body, a government regulated body. You could be taken to court. There's a government regulated body that is saddled with that responsibility.
Okay, I think we'll have another caller on the line. 0522900573. Hello. Yeah, hello.
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 Yeah, hello. Good morning.
Hello.
Yeah, hello. Good morning. We can hear you loud and clear here. Hello. Good morning. All right, we'll wait for another call. Yeah.
DPR, those are the functions of DPRO, and weight and measure. It is their duty to check your pumps, your dispensary pumps, because they also have their own calibrated jar, which they also use. You can't just bring any jar from anywhere and go into filling station and say you want to measure. That same jar is it being calibrated by weight and measure?
Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay. Your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Mr. Wa, calling from Benin.
Okay. So we are discussing the fuel scarcity. How is it like in your area?
In my area, I think the place is somewhere around here. There's a queue in the Tabla Road. But I've heard the moderator said, you are the moderator and the people that is doing it Tabla and the other queue. I said, the truth of the matter is based on the inefficiency in the supply of this product. It is not a matter of thanking one petition or the other. Because at the end of the day, you are going to put the Nigerians or the companies in most of them. What they are passing through already is of the main business for the government. So I want to take a good look at that instead of sanctioning an independent marketer, you should encourage them so that you can work the state or the nation at large. Not that saying that you are doing sanctioning them, who shall sell taboo pump price, they are going to arrest you, safety station, or you see this CFO. That is uncalled for. What I mean is, the market is open. You can go to the depot, like you did for the really plan today, of which the independent marketer are doing carry from people who shop for products from different parts of the country. Come Calabar, come Port Harcourt, where the products are being bought. You know how much and how exorbitant different drugs are using. So if you are telling them that they shouldn't explain and sell, that means they will not be fair. Even if that is talking and you cannot come to your place of work. So are you going to people the good? Market has a way of facing their way. If the product is available, you see everybody selling. You will let it go down so they understand with their official price. So why are you trying to push people by profiting them, by telling them you must sell at this time and you don't have the product to give to the independent market?
Okay. All right, sir. Thank you very much. The last caller. Yeah, you were about to. You want to say something?
You see, the truth of the matter is that we are just playing games with issues as it affects us. If you look at this common issue now, it affects us all. Some persons are here telling us rhetorics and telling us stories, telling us encourage who. You know that there are some filling stations in this town that will not sell fuel when there is normal fuel supply.
Yeah, they will
only sell fuel when there is scarcity. And there are some petrol stations in this town. They will get product. You see them dispensing that, and you see them offloading fuel. They will sell fuel for just 2-3 hours within a day. Come there at night, you see jerry cans dispensing fuel. You want to blame that on federal government? They get fuel. They are making quick money, sharp practices, and you are saying they should encourage how. So when you are talking about change in the very first instance, we are not talking about President Buhari. We are not talking about a PDP or an APC. We are not talking about an individual person. We are talking about the change from you and I, our attitude, our approach to things. So sometimes it baffles me when you see people, Nigerians, we have become so used to corruption. We have become so used to lying, playing games with things that as it affects us, insofar as you can put money in my personal pocket, affects the common man, it's not even an issue. So the issue of fear is not only an issue of going to buy at high price. You see, when you dispense, I heard the PRO talked about they cannot sanction. Bible talk about he said he uses a salt if it loses its flavor.
No,
so,
he said
yeah,
he said
they sanction them.
He
yes,
said the government.
I'm talking of IPMA's task force. What makes it now a task force? When you cannot effect sanction, when the sanction cannot be felt by the people, that is where I'm going. Yes, it is the duty of the DPRO and all that to use gear, yes, calibrated gear for that, yes, fine, we agree. But the point I'm making is that it is issue way beyond the PRO. It's an issue that you and I need to sit together and begin to look at it realistically.
Okay, 052290573 is still the number, so wait for one or two more calls. Yeah. All right, now Leo Ibagwa, fuel price review likely in January is another headline on which of the papers now, the Guardian newspaper. The implication, as I understand that, is that it might just increase. I really don't know, or it might be reduced. So the IPMAN, how are you guys preparing for you know, I don't know.
That's going to be another outburst. You see, when people in government begin to give sensational headlines, you create room for difficulties and confusions within the economy. I'm sorry to say I never expected a minister to use that kind of phrase.
I'm not sure he did, because I'm listening to him yesterday. The man was emphatic. He said there will not be review on core price or reduction, but they were going to do everything possible to bring things to normal. I listened yesterday.
Maybe that's what they like.
Maybe the paper, you know, they use catchy headlines.
Okay.
Journalists.
All right. So, being that as it may, you know, if the blame is being shifted to the editors, they should be careful on the kind of captions they use, because this one is setting the stage for another fuel crisis and scarcity.
All right, we'll take the last call. 05229. Yeah, hello.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, this is Manuel.
Okay, Manuel, you're calling from where?
I'm from Upper.
All right.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, what I see concerning about it is first scarcity. The truth is that nobody wants to tell you that the truth.
Yeah.
They know the people that are controlling people, they know exactly what they are doing. Because if you come to Upper Sakumba now, somebody asks a question, you ask a question, but they say that the government people are taking from people from the House of Rep, many of them have filling station. It's true. If you come to Upper Sakumba and find that also filling station, somebody that controlling it is knowledgeable. Come to Upper to after what they call it filling station here, and the new filling station after before Kamake there, you find that all those boys you are that place. But if you look at this their fuel, they are selling 120, 130, 140. Nobody care. Even the monitoring committee, I've never seen them pass up about one day. They don't even care why. The people that are all on the filling station, they know each other. When they get back, all of them see each other. So what I see is that if you look to move for the filling station, you will see 287 a day. After they sell for you, they will now be using their calculator to work it for you that is 130, 140. So what I say about this is if they are taking by responsibility, let them do the right thing so that people will not be suffering for this. People will not be suffering for this way. Like somebody like me, I'm at home now, I'm not afraid to use. Even my generator, I want generator now to work this selling. No light. What are we enjoying for this country? I don't understand what you are enjoying for this country. If you see what my honorable one is saying, he's telling you the truth. They know what they are doing. The monitoring committee, the ones that dissolve, even the new one that are even breaking now, they know where they see each other.
Okay, thank you very much. That's all time will permit us to take. Now, Leo Ibagwa, just like what this last caller said now, Emmanuel, that you go to some of these filling stations, you see boldly written 87 naira per liter, but they tell you 150, 130. At the end of the day, they now bring out their calculation and calculate for you. Now, the IPMAN, because for transparency, if you are saying that your liter is 130, you change your price from 87 to 130, so that members of the public will see the transparency in the whole thing. You know, because the idea of selling for 130, whereas you still have 87 naira there, it calls for, you know, for reaction.
Yeah, that is that also goes to the government regulation. You know, the government says you have to sell 87, and they also know that the product they ask you to dispense on 87 naira, they also don't have. Most of these private depots sells product way far beyond the pump price.
No, so you are the independent marketers now. If you bought fuel for 120 naira per liter,
yes.
Now government has said that it's 7 naira. Now nothing stops you from changing your own price
because you have the facts to show that I bought at X amount.
You have your wage bill and everything, you have your receipt and all that, so you change it.
Of course, there are some marketers who also believe, you know, to do the right thing. If you buy for 125, you want to sell around 130, you put it there in the meter and let it show, you know, how much that you dispense at, how much you want to dispense.
Yeah, but most independent marketers are not doing that. I mean, where I bought for yesterday, they didn't do that because it's 7 naira and I bought for 130.
They are only destroying their image. You know, you don't
image the way that
you don't hide the truth. Petroleum product is not something that you can hide. Even if you like go and put 20 naira, it will definitely show when you put it in a gallon. So the gallon will definitely tell. Even the car tank will definitely show the gauge are there. So the thing is that to be truthful to the people, if you buy at a high price, you know, let them know how much you bought and just put it there plain.
Exactly.
Those who can afford it, let them take it. Those who cannot afford it, you know, let them, so that they will know, you know, there are ways you can. I mean, the whole thing goes back, like I've been saying, it's just community service. Because if all independent petrol marketers decide now not to sell this product, I can imagine where this state is going to be. Because for quite throughout last week, most of the product that was loaded in most of this depot were taken straight to Abuja, and they were all mega. And that's always been our cry. Why the focus on mega? Why mega? Yes, when it comes to kerosene is mega. When it comes to petrol is mega. Everything is mega. And if you look at the whole country, I think IFMA has about 90 or 97% of the petrol stations in the country. So by the time you decide to cut them out, what you are asking for confusion. So there is no way you are going to do away with it, man. I think if when the country is in crisis as we are now, when there are shortage of petroleum product, I think the best people to actually give this product to is the IPMAN, because their stations are scattered everywhere, and these are the people who actually, and then the people who give out the product. But when you begin to give this product to mega stations, how many mega stations? Or you begin to give it to, at the end of the day.
Okay. All right, that's all time will permit us to take on this discussion today. The issue of fuel scarcity is something that all of us we must put our hands together. Now, as an independent marketer out there, please, if you bought 120 and you have to sell for 125 or 122 or 121 as the case may be, you change your liter price so that you know there'll be some level of transparency. Because the idea of buying for 120 and you said you are selling for 130 and you still put 87 naira there is not a welcome development at all. All right, Leonard, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Solomon,
nice
thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you on this program. Well, we'll take a short pause now for the news updates at 9:30, and we'll just wrap it up. Stay tuned.
This Baba Jesus with very tasty and though and gospel band they on ground competition like a best Bible teller go round shake it kumole Bible challenge pro and win competition. Are you ready? So bunga prizes them. This part inclusion for this bunga show. Na equize that one about utoki and vegetable oil to take fry am. Forward the man now. Your ticket to 500 more 10 care one person. Now Friday, December 20. The time 9/11. Now I do corporate headquarters. The Glass House Airport Road for Benin City. This show by Australia showroom dealers for all kinds of electronics. Then 57 opposite for Benin City and Omega Tron dealers for all kinds of phones and assets. The location of America 7 for Benin City. Universal Institute of Technology, Federal Government National Diplomatic Institute, number 42 before only market. Chris Igbadu for people.
Remember saying months now so accident happen. Me and you the one wey driver dey side na him plenty make una drive care. From independent video and television.
Glad to have you join us for the news for this time. I am Adesuwa Osa-Oage. The outrage generated by the insult poured on the Esama of Benin, Sir Chief Dr. Gabriel Osawawu Benedion, is far from coming to an end, as more concerned citizens of the state lend their voices to the widespread condemnation on the government utterances. Also reports that it was more knocks for Governor Shomole, as the respondents strongly criticized the governor for what they described as his unbridled disrespect to a distinguished elder statesman.
Investigation by the crew revealed that concerned citizens of Edo State are yet to forget the insult on the Esama of Benin by Governor Adams Oshomole over the implementation of the land use charter. Some of the citizens who spoke on the issue said they viewed the matter with rude shock, describing the insult on the Esama by Governor Oshomole as an abomination. They pointed out that the decision by the governor to target the Esama land use charge was in bad faith and described the insult poured on Esama by the governor as the height of lawlessness and unbridled misuse of executive power. The Edo citizens said Governor Shomole erred when he decided to disrespect the Esama and added that the governor, who ought to be a role model in the society, did not show good example with such respectful conduct. They advised the governor to purge himself of such unbecoming attitude and apologize publicly to the
in Benin Kingdom. We don't disrespect our leaders or elders. It is forbidden. The Benin we say Awa, Usne we say Ewego, Ego. What he has done, he has just shown what everybody has been saying. If you want to know a man, give him money and power. We have seen that in him, that money he has gotten in, power he has gotten in, and he has started using the money and the power to disrespect those who brought him to power.
It is reckless and it is a conduct unbecoming of a governor. I must say this, that in proper situation, what the Governor Shomole has done amounts to a desecration of the office of the governor. It amounts to a breach of the oath of office that he has taken. What the governor has done by going personal and personalizing the office of Mr. Governor, being inconsistent with his oath of office, is an impeachable offense.
All those who derive pleasure in abusing others, they are going to be insulted one day. They will be disgraced in the public square. Children will also stone them. Want to call on people close to him to please beg him to tread with caution when you are addressing matters that affect your citizens.
The last is yet to be heard on the matter as more citizens of Edo State continue to condemn the governor for his insult on the Esama. Ikmamusa Ugiagbe report.
The plans for civil commissioners in Edo State to commence rendering account of their stewardship suffered a setback at the Edo State House of Assembly yesterday, following requests by the first batch of commissioners to be excused to enable them attend the weekly State Executive Council meeting. Efosa Nwagwe has details.
Of the 4 commissioners that were to appear before the House to give account of their stewardship, 2 wrote to obtain excuse to attend the State Weekly Executive Council meeting and appealed for rescheduling of their appearances before the House. The 2 ministries are that of Arts, Culture, Commerce and Industry, while nothing was heard from the Information and Solid Minerals Commissioners. That notwithstanding, the Speaker Victor Duro, having gotten support from the members, accepted the excuses and promised to reschedule the 4 commissioners' appearance for a later date. The appearance of the commissioners is scheduled to officially kick off on Wednesday. The House also received a report from Chairman House Committee on Security. Efosa Wangwe reporting.
Independent television and radio has been described as one of the leading media organizations in Africa. The description came from the spiritual leader and general overseer of Christ Church of God International, most senior apostle Joshua Osasuyi, while receiving the management team of the organization in his office. Pius Nsoro reports that ITV and radio management team were the spiritual leaders as part of visits to clients of the station.
The independent television radio management team arrived at the international headquarters of Chosen Church International into the warm embrace of the spiritual leader and general overseer of the ministry, most senior apostle Joshua Osasuyi, and his senior ministers. In his remark, most senior apostle Joshua Osasuyi commended ITV and radio management team for unbiased reportage and quality programs of the station, and said ITV and radio has been consistent and fearless in telling the people the truth. This, he said, stands the station out. Most senior apostle Osasuyi used the occasion to recall his long-standing relationship with the CMD of ITV and radio, the Esamara of Benin, whom he said is blessed by God and respected all over the world.
The owner, Sir Chief, nation, God has blessed him and given him knowledge and wisdom to see that all this while he has been number one. I'm very glad that clergymen and women are at the forefront of the management of ITV. I say no wonder things have been so. Continue. We are praying for you. No, people may not like the truth, but you cannot do anything against the truth but for the truth. And the truth must surely stand.
Earlier in an address, the General Manager, Independent Television, Senior Elder Ogbede Nwose, said the management team of the station thought it wise to visit some of their clients who have been supportive of the station over the years. Senior Elder Ogbede Nwose thanked the spiritual father for his patronage while acknowledging his leadership and fatherly role in Christendom and in the society.
We, the management of Independent Television and Radio, have decided to visit you for many reasons. As a father, we need your prayers. Secondly, we want to appreciate you for the leadership qualities in piloting the affairs of your church, which is one of the largest congregations in the country, as well as sustaining unity in the affairs of the Benin City Christian community, of which you are the chairman.
The Independent Television and Radio management staff present during the visit include General Manager Radio, Elder Dan Omosusi. Pius Nsogo reporting.
Do well to join us at 12 o'clock today when we shall be bringing you the world news on Independent Television. Thank you for staying tuned. Good morning.
Independent
independent television. Certainly the best.
Good morning and welcome to the Breakfast Sports segment on TMI this lovely Wednesday morning. I am the sports Berlusconi and Afi Francis. Yes, we are still celebrating Super Eagles qualification to the group stages of the 2018 FIFA World Cup to be held in Russia after their emphatic 2 goals to nil win over visiting Swaziland at the Adoike Amesi Maka Stadium in Port Harcourt yesterday. Had the governor Wike and of course the president of the Nigerian Football Federation Marvin Pinnick Amaju in the stand cheering for Nigeria. Of course, was also witnessed for the first time in Nigeria the return of Bartholomew Martins, though he played 15-12 minutes of the game, but one could see that he still got it in him, that a whole lot might still come from him, geared towards the qualification for the 2017 African Cup of Nations and as well as the 2018 FIFA World Cup to be heard in respective countries, of course in Gabon and Russia respectively, talking about the 2017 African Cup of Nations and as well as the 2018 FIFA World Cup. Of course in Europe, football games were also played international friendlies. England defeated France 2 goals to nil in an international friendly at the New Wembley, though it was an emotional one, but Captain Wayne Rooney had the chance to increase his tally at the all-time England high goal scorer yesterday. Of course, a whole lot has been said about Wayne Rooney, but the goal he scored against the Lens Blues yesterday, talking about the France national team, was actually a spectacular one. Of course, Argentina, Brazil, even Uruguay were on the winning side yesterday. Of course, we'll get more of those highlights on our program later by 11 a.m. where we'll take a look at all the football that happened yesterday, of course, including Nigeria and Ghana's game against Comoros in Ghana yesterday. Now, let's go to tennis, where my main man defeated Roger Federer, talking about Novak Djokovic. Yesterday, talking about Roger Federer beating Djokovic in the ATP Tour World Finals. It happened yesterday at the O2 Arena, last night actually, and I never envisaged Roger Federer can actually muster what he did against world number 1. Of course, it was a two straight sets win for Roger Federer yesterday, beating Djokovic in a 7-5, 6-4. I'd like to watch an excerpt from that game between Roger Federer and Djokovic. We'll come back in the studio to wrap up TMI this lovely Wednesday morning.
Set to end the year as number 1 for the 4th time in 5 years, Novak Djokovic took on fellow tennis icon Roger Federer at the Barclays ATP World Tour. His rivalry was evenly stacked at 21 wins apiece in 42 encounters, dating back to the Monte Carlo Masters in 2006. While the 2015 head-to-head had the Serbian 4-2 ahead, the opening set looked destined to go the distance, with both men delivering eye-catching displays at the O2 Arena. But there was to be no tiebreak, as the Fed broke Nole in the 12th game, stealing the first set. The former world number 1 followed that late break of serve with a win off service at the top of the second set, before Djokovic back ahead of matters at 2-all. The attending crowd was in for a treat as Federer seemingly rolled back the years to take a 4-2 lead against a rattled Djokovic. The Swiss maestro continued unabated as the joker failed to hold or force Federer into a mistake. Even though the match's final point was contested, the record 6-time champion was not to be denied. ATP World Tour Finals action continues on Wednesday when Andy Murray faces off against Rafa Nadal before Stan Wawrinka and David Ferrer clash.
Where we have to call it a wrap today on the program this morning on ITV. So good to know that you started with us, and here we are doing all that we have to do together to end the show for today. Francis?
It has been a great show, of course, especially from the sporting world, where Nigeria won yesterday. I'm celebrating it because looking at the way they played in Swaziland on Friday, I never anticipated that they could play a good football, although they didn't score more goals, which they had all the chances to have scored. But 2 goals to net, good for us. We saw the cohesiveness from the lads. They are gradually coming together. They are gradually understanding themselves. They were assisting themselves, and good changes from the Sunday Olise crew, led crew, bringing on Buffy Martin in place of the skipper of the side, Ahmed Musa, and of course the changes actually made the game faster at when the Swaziland were taking over the game from us at the later part of the game after Moses Sema got us on the way.
Well, I just wonder what your life will look like without football.
Not just without not football. I mean, it's just sports. Sport is life. I don't understand when you don't do sport. I mean, you have to go exercise yourself. Sport is everything, After God is sports.
Okay. All right, sir. Like I said, we'll just call it a wrap here today. Tomorrow, Thursday, Sunday, Duke Okosun is going to be here on the same program this morning on ITV. My name is Evan Zonohoge. Goodbye and God bless you.
This is ITV. Certainly.
As we dey dance and Zoto for television, that's how our boss dey dance as Zoto for road. Whether gallop or no gallop, oh yeah, make we dey go oga. You fit. Next.
For me, also motors. Now safety of all our passengers be number one. We dey make sure say
Even motor and driver wey qualify carry our passengers reach Ugo. Many of our road no good. We dey take extra care to drive for safety and comfort of our passengers.
Correct! Safety first. Safety first. Motors. Now you big go. Carry
as lion forest na motor king of the road. Bam.
Building a house is an investment. It's beautiful. The art of painting and finishing brings out the beauty in any building. Sonic Paint is the ideal choice. It has value and gives to your home or school just for a wide variety of motion, glaze, and text code, variant standard, premium gold, or policy. Sonic high opacity and does not fade. Sonic Paint is manufactured with high materials, addictive for enrich our quality makes book your now at Sonic Paints Limited, between and West City. 13 in Agbo Road, opposite Kojo Motors, Benin. 261 929 081 079 918. Sonic is available at outlets wide. Paints and all.
Aluminium roofing brings out the complete beauty of your building. Aluminium and steel products all over the place. There is something peculiar about our product and services. We manufacture a high quality aluminium roofing sheets of all colors and gauges. Our oven baked color coated sheets are durable to weather hazard. At Benko Aluminium, we install as requested by customers. We offer prompt supply services to numerous customers anywhere, and we are also professionals in steel fabrications as warehouse, churches, filling stations, etc. Benko Aluminium, located on 188 Sapele Road beside PHC Transmission Office. Telephone 0709 881 0816 or 055627 Benko Aluminium, the builder's choice always.
Of imagining no more. Global venture, the building associations with over a decade of experience in providing durable and accessories and services to the industry, having stock imported steel and luxury exquisite bathroom accessories, marbles, granite, tiles, stainless hand rails, wardrobes, office furniture, home furniture, and kitchen cabinet at an affordable rate. We deliver nationwide. We also renovate, construct newly built and extensions, while others build around plans and drawings. At Yons Build Around Accessories, visit us today at our head office and showroom, Kilometer 11, Sapele Road, opposite RCC, Benin City. Our call lines are 0805 86 08 481 or 0809 080639131. Those Sus glitches that to elegant buildings.
You will act with God.
Another moment of upliftment and hope for deliverance, healings, victory, and dominion as pastors, ministers, and people from all over the world gather for the 2015 Grace International Conventions of Christ for the Dying World Ministry, aka Life Assembly. It's a 4-day life and power event with highly anointed Apostle Victor James from Lagos and renowned prophet, evangelist, and host Pastor Ayodele Ministry. Day Wednesday 18 to Sunday 22nd November 2015, 4:30 p.m. daily. There will be ministers and leaders conference Friday 20th and Saturday 21st November at 9 a.m. Celebration service on Sunday 22nd November 2015 at 8 a.m. Grace and Truth International Worship Center, Christ for the Dying World Ministry, 5 Easter Street off College Road at and Eternal Ayodele, Chief Host.
Now, what tuna say be the problem?
Me as Sabi right to me as Sabi right to. But if I want to be correct to go for public, sometimes still the hook. As you see me so, I know Sabi right.
The Pioneer Education Center is the answer to all our problem.
Can't learn the real secret of how to read, write, spell, pronounce, and speak correct to you for Pioneer.
Level number 2 is Ebuwa Lane off Isuwa by Byte Engineering MM Wave for Benin City. Number 16 Ojo Street off Uwasota and Jegab Street opposite Uncle Bright Sawmill for Ekboma, and go 80 by Igbiti Street off Amedoshan for Uromi. Number 18 Giwamu Road for GROA for Benin City. Pioneer Nursery Primary Secondary and Adult School. Therefore number 2A and B Sparta Lane off Cemetery and opposite Primary School Road, Jemila Ikpobai for Benin City. Pioneer Computer School and Usaba Cafe. Therefore, number 2A and B Sparta Lane off Owosheni for New Benin City. Pioneer Gano.
Ever wonder how big the world is? With technology, the world has become even smaller. You need a force your businesses. Knowing the local environment better than these. Go the extra. Whatever the distance. Pride isn't always being on time, be it customers or loved ones. We make it duty to smile on this. Local and international shipments safely delivered and at the best possible. We call it period delivery, and that's our promise. IG Logistics, a better way to deliver. Services are are available. All God is Good Motors terminals.
Hello, gents.
Hello, sir.
Where are you?
I'm at Opto Troya for the charge.
Opto Troya. That's the reason why I called. Nice.
Oh, yeah. Orphux Royal Enterprises is one place in Benin where of all interlocking tiles and bricks business carried out at Royal. We specialize in different kinds of interlocking tiles like double T, Zenith, half moon, and lots more. Our products undergo 9 grams of fiber, which makes it durable and reliable. At Orthux, we fix bricks for you. Say goodbye to grass and depression. We also transport to any destination of your choice after sales. We are situated at number Uselu Lagos Road by Queen S 5 Junction. Call us 0803 920 4548. Royal is your for interlocking tiles and brick business.
Trailblazer, competitive business, expertise with or in EasyLink Steel Limited. Easy company is reputed for high construction materials like steel pipe, twisted square rod, pipes, as well as beam and use also in less stock at EasyLink Steel, angle burst, type, meets galvanized cold roll pen, bars, BRC, fencing wire, rods, and binding wires. Only genuine construction materials from a reputable and quality assured firms like EasyLink Steel can stand your job a whole lot. Bandwagons of engineers and construction experts who have found solace in EasyLink Steel Company Limited for all your construction needs. Contact us today at number 39 Ihaikme Street, Uzebu Quarters, Benin City, or call 080 357 25128. Steel Company, easy to link in steel business.
Hey, Eco Bus na transport to take travel from Bini. Go worry. Ugeli, Abraka, Ekulobia, Onitsha, Oka and Olu. Them better drivers and Sambele buses go carry you safe and money. Jolly.
They cheap for every and the journey is so it goes sweet your belly. No overload at all. So anytime when you want to travel from Bini, go worry. Ugeli, Ekulobia, Onitsha, Oka and Olu. Na Eco Bus be your boss.
Eco Bus for 147 Uselu Lagos Road by Uselu Market, Benin City, 42 Biniagbo Road, Ramat Park, before Guinness PLC, Igoba Hill, Benin City.